Thanks, brother man. What is going on? Don't unfriend me. Welcome. Get this shared out, please, across all channels. Olivia will be with us. We're going early. There's a huge news event going on with Zelenskyy and Trump. We're going to cover it. We're going to bring everything to you, give you our personal opinions. Get this out to as many people as possible. I have a feeling you're going to want to watch this. Friday nights are always banging. This one should be even better. We're going to watch Bret Baier. That's live right now. I'm recording it. We're going to put that on. And then we're going to tell you about what happened today. Zelenskyy versus the world. Zelenskyy versus Trump. Zelenskyy versus Vance. Zelenskyy versus the media. The media wanting Democrats to go and do what we knew that they were going to do. But this might be the crux that allows Democrats to begin impeachment proceedings against Donald Trump. Nothing will make them more incensed than trying to stop their war that they want to have, that they must have, to ensure that the cash machine goes forward and America first goes by the wayside. So we're going to talk about it tonight. It's going to be a good one. Got a lot of stuff you probably haven't seen. We'll see you. We got an intro, 4 minutes, then boom, we're going to show you Bret Baier.
It's Red Friday, RED Friday, which stands for Remember Everyone Deployed, a movement designed to honor veterans and deployed U.S. troops by wearing a red shirt every Friday. As simple as that may be, Red Friday is a great way to back those who serve our country. Go to dumbshow.com and search for Red Friday to get your red on.
What's up, everybody? It's Ryan Weaver. I am on the Don't Unfriend Me show, otherwise known as The Dumb Show, with host Matt Spear. You guys can find the show at The Dumb Show on social media or thedumbshow.com.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. This should be an interesting show. Zelenskyy was kicked out of the White House today. If you're like, I've been hearing the rumblings and I'm not sure how to feel about this, you're not alone. But we're going to kind of walk you through how you should feel about this, which I think we need to work backwards. And I was hoping to come on time, but we don't have enough time. I mean, this will be a 3-hour show. We're asking $500 donation night. It's a big night. Friday nights are always huge. They're massive. It's the end of the month, and we got Zelenskyy and Trump. We got overtime, and then probably additional overtime. It's probably going to be a 3.5-hour show. So we want, hit us up, help us out. It's going to be a big stream. It's going to cost a lot to stream it, but damn it, this is important. So Zelenskyy and Brett Baer are talking right now. So I'm going to give it to you straight up, and we're going to watch this first. Olivia's going to be here. She's putting her face on. And let's get into this right now and start watching this, because this is Zelenskyy's first interview, conversation, whatever, before being kicked out of the White House. It's live. I've been recording it, and if we have commercials, we'll fast forward. Let's listen to this. Remember, to donate, you can go to thedumbshow.com/donate and help out the show. If this is your first time watching, you don't have cable, well, here's the benefit. Merry Christmas. Enjoy this. Here it is.
Him and the vice president and all on today, especially on
state media reporters
on today, especially on this day, to continue to do this interview. President Trump said after your meeting that you disrespected him and the vice president and all of America in the Oval Office. Do you think you did? And do you think you owe an apology?
I love how far Zelensky's sitting away from Brett Baer. It's like he's sitting at the little kids' table at Thanksgiving dinner. Also, it's my understanding that Zelenskyy called and asked to come back. So I guarantee his entourage, the ambassador was there who had her hand. You know, we've got all the video. We're going to show you everything that happened. We're working backwards. Just know Zelenskyy and Vance and Trump got into a cage match in the Oval Office, and it got ugly. And this is the first interview since.
Apology to President Trump.
Thank you so much. First of all, thank you for the invitation for this dialogue, and good evening to all your country, to all Americans. I'm very thankful to Americans for all your support. You did a lot. I'm thankful to President Trump and to Congress bipartisan support. And I was always very thankful from all our people. You helped us a lot from the very beginning during 3 years of full-scale innovation. You helped us to survive. Anyway, we are strategic partners. And
yeah,
even
you should have led with that.
Tough dialogue. And I think we have to be very honest, and we have to be very direct to understand each other, because it's very, for us, very necessary to President Trump. And I'm with all respect that he wants to finish this war, but nobody wants to finish more than we, because we in Ukraine, we are in this war, we are in this battle, and battle for freedom for our lives. So I'm just telling that I think that we have to be on the same side, and I hope that the president on our side together with us, and that is.
Folks, this is what's known as putting the proverbial shit back in the horse, or the toothpaste back in the tube. You get the point. It's not going to work. There are too many sound bites of him. The leftist media is going to do what they always do, which is try to spin this one way. And they are. They're only showing 7 minutes and 36 seconds. I watched the full 47-minute interview, and everything was fine up until like that 41-minute mark, and Zelenskyy lost his shit.
That is very important to stop Putin. And I heard from President Trump a lot of times that he will stop the war, and I hope he will, and we need to pressure him with Europe, with all the partners. And I think this dialogue had to be a little bit earlier to understand where we are. Like, you know, I don't remember exactly, but like President Reagan said, that peace is not just an absence of the war. Yes, we're speaking about just and lasting peace, about freedom, about justice, about human rights. And that's why I said that I think so, that ceasefire, and you know Putin, he broken 25 times ceasefire during all these years, 10
Right.
years.
So I'm not hearing from you, Mr. President, a thought that you owe the president an apology.
No, I respect President and I respect American people. And if, I don't know, if I think that we have to be very open and very honest. And I'm not sure that we did something bad. I think maybe sometimes some things we have to discuss out of media, with all respect to democracy and
you
to
should have
free
done that.
media. But there are things that where we have to understand the position of Ukraine and Ukrainians. And I think.
Listen, I don't have any experience sitting in a negotiation with two world leaders, but I will tell you what, I have a plethora of experience of sitting in a room with CEOs, CFOs, COOs, CMOs at organizations, and I've done buyouts, I've done $2.5 billion merger acquisitions, I've done advertising buys, I've done Kronos and Timekeeper and Myers-Briggs and Lawmaker competency purchases for 125,000 employees. So I understand that things can get contentious. And I've been in briefing rooms where I've had admirals and generals literally just want to rip each other's faces off and to the point of almost throwing hands. I've seen SEAL team commanders go after Force Recon Marines verbally. I mean, these things happen. What they don't do is happen in front of the media, and this is where Zelenskyy fucked up. Zelenskyy decided to go ahead and puff up his chest against the vice president, and there is no way that Donald Trump is going to allow that to happen. It's just not. I don't care how wrong J.D. Vance was. You will not allow your VP to swing, because if you do, he will be ineffectual for the rest of the administration. Trump had to defend J.D. We'll talk about it more.
Yes, we are partners. You know, we are very close partners. We have to be fair. We have to be very free.
I'm told that you were told multiple times from lawmakers on Capitol Hill and the White House to make today about the minerals deal and the economic deal, and then get it signed and let negotiations play out over security guarantees step by step. Is that true?
I said that we have to sign this document, and we are ready for this. And this will be the first step to security guarantees. But it's not enough. I think so. Maybe I don't know something. I don't know some details. That's why I wanted to share it with the president, my thoughts, and to hear him again, because he has a plan how to stop Putin. And maybe, as I said, maybe it's out of big conversations, but we have to share it. You know, this is so sensitive. You know, just a ceasefire without security guarantees. This is so sensitive for our people. I'm speaking like a president of a people who are in this struggle 3 years, and they just want to hear that America on our side, and that America will stay with us, not with Russians, with us. That's it. But I'm sure that it will be. This is the first step to security guarantees. Europeans, we don't need to lose them. They are good allies for the United States. The United States is the most or the biggest donator of support and of peace. But we don't need to lose Europe, and they also want to know next steps. We have to be very open to understand how to stop the war.
Right. But do you think the public spat in the Oval Office in front of the media served Ukrainians well today?
I think this kind of spat is I mean, this we have. I mean, this is not good for both sides anyway. And I very open, but I.
Here's the thing. It's only bad for one side, because we're not the one getting our asses kicked by Russia. We're not the one who's running proxy. Okay? So this guy, his arrogance is so far beyond the pale. It's really frustrating. It's like a cryptocurrency guy worth, $5 or $6 million lecturing Elon Musk on finance management and investment. You're not even in the same ballpark as our country. You don't have the population. You don't have the revenue. You don't have the military might. You don't have the history standing alone as an independent country. I mean, hell, you guys were a part of Russia multiple times. When you compare everything about us, there is no comparison where Ukraine and the United States are even remotely the same sport. It's not the same ballpark. It's not the same sport. It's not even in the same planet. It's not even the same universe. There is no comparison. So when he sits, and this is what set off Donald Trump. Everyone says it was the J.D. Vance thing. I don't think it was the J.D. Vance thing. I think he was going to snub him, let J.D. Vance hit him for being a sanctimonious dick, and then was going to move on. When he said that America was going to, quote unquote, suffer the same fate as Ukraine, but they had the sea that was separating them, a point I make all the time, that geographically they're in a much better position than Ukraine, that essentially you're next with Russia. And Trump did not like that. He felt that as an inadvertent threat. It's a strong arm tactic. Completely, that is where he lost it. Uncool.
To Russia. And I don't want they kill us for us. You know, this is very, very clear that Americans are the best of our friends, Europeans are the best of our friends, and Putin with Russian, their enemies. And it doesn't mean that we don't want peace. We just want to recognize the reality, the real situation.
President Trump is convinced that you will never sign a deal with Vladimir Putin. Is he right?
No. I think so, what I think. Ukraine wants peace, and we will have anyway diplomacy. We will have negotiations. I only said that I think so. It's about just and lasting peace. It means that we have to be very strong at the table of negotiations, and at these negotiations, Ukraine and Russia, like sides of this war, have to be, and the United States and Europe. That's what I said. So we are ready for peace, but we have to be in strong position. What does it mean? Just to know that our army is strong, that our partners with us, and that we have security guarantees. Am I not right?
Leaving the White House today, President Trump said this.
He's looking to go on and fight. He wants to come back right now, but I can't do that.
What do you make of that? Do you want to continue fighting? Do you want peace? And if he had the opportunity to go back to the White House right now, would you do it?
No. First of all, we want peace. That's why I'm in the United States. That's why I visited President Trump. And thanks for the invitation again. The deal on minerals is the first step to security guarantees. It's meant for the peace, closer to peace. That's why I'm here. And then
you should have shut up and signed it.
To understand it is
that you should have signed it, and you shouldn't have made today about anything else. 40 minutes. It was a huge meeting, beautiful. Some say the best meeting ever. It was fantastic. And then you had to go ahead and pull out your Napoleon complex and start measuring dicks with J.D. Vance. It's like we couldn't have found Ralph Nader and had him pick on someone his own size. Vertically, not horizontally, mind you.
Brad, you was once. Thank you again. So I think that's very important to understand what's going on. But I respect my soldiers and our people, our civilians who work and support our warriors. I can't say just stop. Nobody will stop because everybody afraid that Putin will come back tomorrow. We want just and lasting peace. It's true. We want security guarantees. We raise this topic about NATO the quickest way.
What is going to provide more of a security guarantee when 50% of all your mineral rights are now going into the United States? That means we have an active interest to ensure that we protect our investment. Now, do I think the mineral rights is something we need? No. I'd much rather go into the Congo. Congo is willing to give us 50% of their mineral rights right now. If we back them up and do the same thing we're doing with Ukraine, that's a short investment because they're either going to be wiped out and it's going to be regime change, or they're going to win and we can go ahead and have our mineral rights. And then if Congo gets froggy, we can go ahead and drop a few bombs on their ass if needed. But listen, if you want the United States to help you, what are you offering? We're not the fucking Red Cross. We're not a charity case. We're not the world police. I don't give, no, God, Joan, please don't talk about the biolabs. Oh my God. I have destroyed that a long time ago. Please, for the love of God, not tonight. Please. Please don't do this. I love how you guys have changed it to biolabs. Remember when you guys were saying bioweapon labs? And they're like, oh, they're not bioweapon labs. There's only like 7 bioweapon labs in the entire world. Well, let's change it to biolabs. Oh, you mean like where blood's drawn? You mean like pretty much the other 374 biolabs in the entire world? Oh, yeah, and all of them are, what, creating COVID? And Vladimir Putin went ahead and bombed them all, but he didn't hit one of those targets with the initial strikes and hasn't bombed any since because no biolab has been hit. Because if you don't hit a biolab with a hyperthermic bomb, guess what happens? You spread the disease everywhere. And a biolab doesn't have any contagions that are level 4, level 5, which would actually wipe out as a pandemic. These things are weaponized chicken pox and shit like that. Most people are inoculated to it. Level 3 is nothing. Give me a break. I don't want to do this tonight.
NATO, the quickest way, but not all the countries are on this side. I said, okay, if not NATO, nobody is pushing. If not NATO, let's build NATO in Ukraine. That's my position. Europeans are ready to have contingents on our territory, boots on the ground. United States thinks maybe to help, maybe USA backstop, have to be just to guarantee that they are with the Europeans. Look at Europe. It's strong. It became stronger, but they also want to have allies like the United States. That's what I said. I just want to understand what the peace. It's not my question, Brad. This is the question from all our people.
You mentioned when I traveled to the front lines with you last year to see the situation, to mark the anniversary of the war, and this is what you told me back then.
Will Ukrainians survive without Congress support? Of course, but not all of us. It will be tragedy for all of us, not only for Ukraine, not only for Ukrainians, for all Europe. Yeah.
So the question today is, can Ukraine win this war or hold off Russia without continued U.S. support?
No. It will be difficult for us. That's why I'm here. No. That's why we speak about the future negotiations. No. It will be difficult without your support.
Impossible.
But we can't lose
our
values, our people. We can't lose our freedom.
You will.
So a lot of people, Russians came to our territory. You know it. Russians came to our houses. And everybody saw it, video, images, a lot of things. They killed so many people. Just to forget it, just to say that
you
Putin
killed a few Russians too,
no,
if I'm not
without
mistaken.
Us. We don't want it. That's why we speak about, everybody remembered how it was the first days of the war, how they came. Nobody wants in Ukraine. Yes, of course, nobody will forget it, but nobody wants to have, again, new wave of occupation. That's why.
All right, I'm telling you right now, if the United States pulls out, he has probably another 17 to 20 days, 21 days of armaments left in order to repel and protect his borders. And that has crossed 9 major cities in Ukraine, okay? 21 days at max. That is if he fights on the same fronts. If Putin decides to start bombing in the west or in the south, he's screwed. The only reason Putin is stopping is because of the United States' involvement. Because during proxy, there is a process. And Putin does not want to instigate the Kremlin getting hit. He doesn't want to bring this into Russian soil. And if you start hitting bombers, if you start hitting military aircraft, if you start hitting Polish, Article 5 is going to be ignited, lit up, and you're going to have World War III. Putin's not stupid. He might be crazy, but he's not stupid. If you pull the United States out, There's nothing stopping Russia from dropping a hyperbaric bomb. There's nothing for them to stop them from using tactical nukes. There's nothing to stop them from using hypersonic missiles. There's nothing to stop them for high-altitude bombers. Russia could flatten Ukraine in 72 hours. Now, the whole thing is the reason why you don't do that is because there will be retaliation from the world. But if the United States steps away, Putin is like, you know what? I feel pretty confident that we can hold out against NATO. Because NATO doesn't want to start World War III also. Because then you get China involved. Then you get North Korea involved. Then you start getting the Sea of Japan and the South China Sea and the Indian Ocean involved. And then most assuredly, Middle East gets involved. And then you've got a global war. Zelenskyy knows if the United States is not involved, his country is sunk. He will be killed within 3 to 4 days. More than likely by his own people. Zelensky's got something to worry about right now, going home to Ukraine and making sure that he has a really good food tester. Because I'm telling you, there's people in Ukraine who watched today, and this guy had one job: sign the fucking mineral deal and work towards a treaty so the entire generations of Ukrainians would stop being killed. This guy better start testing his food like Castro did. Because I'm telling you, if you think Ukraine and the oligarchs and the mob that's in there that are all Russian mob, but work in Ukraine, but are responsible for all the laundering and the trafficking and all the corruption, that they're not going to worry about their best interests and whack this guy, then you haven't read a history book.
Occupation. That's why when we say no NATO, what security guarantees can we have? I'm not pushing. We are not pressuring. We're just asking. We're just sharing very clear messages to our friends, to Americans.
Right.
If you stay with us, thank you so much. But let's do the infrastructure of security guarantees. Let's just share with our people, just with our people, that America stay with us. That's great. We count on it. But just to share it and to say it, that's all.
How does the war end? How do you get to a deal? You're at a place right now where there is no deal. How do you get it back on track?
I think that Europe is ready for contingents and to help us with financing of big army, such big as we have now. This is our army, is the part of security guarantees. Now we want to find the place for our biggest strategic partner, for the United States, or United States will propose where and how the United States will give us security guarantees, what kind of and what part of volume of security guarantees.
I promise you, Parliament back in Ukraine, not Parliament, but overall Congress and their elected representatives are plotting how to remove him from power. This guy had no legs to stand on. None.
We will come to diplomacy. To diplomacy, yes, with Russians, Europeans, United States, and we. Four of us, I think this is real way, because with weapon, it's too long, it's not enough. We don't have enough weapon to push them out, and we don't see now, for now, we don't see really big volume of new support from the United States, but with all respect again. So for today, we'll be ready with security guarantee. Really, when I say NATO, it's not about that we are focusing on this word. It's about very understandable infrastructure of security guarantees. And you see that no NATO countries for today, no NATO countries been under attacks.
Senator Lindsey Graham, Republican from South Carolina, he has been a big proponent of you and of Ukraine, said this today after the meeting.
Lindsey, do it right for once.
I have never been more proud of the president.
Good.
I was very proud of J.D. Vance.
Good.
Standing up for our country.
Finally,
we want to be helpful.
Stupid
what I saw in the
fuck.
Oval Office was disrespectful. And I don't know if we can ever do business with Zelenskyy again. He either needs to resign and send somebody over that we can do business with, or he needs to change.
Who the hell's got the rotary
so he
phone?
says you need to consider
All right. Now, this is the most important part of the interview. So listen, his reply here will tell you if this guy is going to be exactly what Trump said he was, a dictator. Listen close.
That on the table?
I don't know if he will be happy after my words. This decision can do only people of Ukraine.
You're not going to step down to do a peace deal.
No, I
Have
was
someone else take over.
always ready. I'm not sure that is a good idea for this.
Here you go.
Such proposals. But anyway, I always said if United States will support NATO, so I think that is enough for Ukraine. So I think I did all I had to do. And if somebody is not this happy with me, okay. But between us, yes, Americans vote for American president. Each European country vote for their president, and only Ukrainian. With all respect to Lindsay, if I can say Lindsay, we know each other, yes, and only Ukrainians.
Well, there you go, folks. The answer is a big fat fucking no. Because the Ukrainian people can't choose right now because you've declared martial law through your constitution, which is not a democracy, which is not a republic, which is a tyrannical rule, and you're running it like an oligarch. You have suspended elections. If I don't care what your constitution says, you don't have to follow it when it comes to that. See, let me give you an example. When it says the right to bear arms, you have to protect the right of the individual to have bear arms, but you don't have to supply the general public with arms. So in this case, you have to allow the people to decide, but you don't have to force to take away their right to decide just because you want to, because you're expanding their rights. There are many things in the Constitution that says that we're supposed to do. During COVID, we were supposed to declare martial law according to the word of law, but we didn't do it. We were supposed to declare martial law when it came to 9/11. Although we imposed curfews and although we suspended flights, martial law was not declared by a federal level. So just because you're supposed to do something doesn't mean that you have to when it comes to limitation of people's freedoms. So when he says, the Constitution says I'm not supposed to have an election, therefore I won't have an election. No. Because the whole point is to have an election. That's the goal. And you're using this battle, this conflict, as a convenient excuse to stay in power. And now you're saying, it's up for the Ukrainians to decide. Ukrainians can't decide because you've suspended the elections under your constitution. So give me a break. You're talking out of both sides of your mouth. Now, if Brett Baer was worth his salt, he would hit him on that. Well, wait a second. You've suspended elections. So how are Ukrainians supposed to decide like Europeans and Americans? Because the last time I checked, both of those people and groups and demographics and continents are having elections. Welcome to the show, Olivia Spear.
Hello.
Oh, there you go, baby. Go.
Hi, everyone. Wow, my email would not load. It was like locking my entire computer up, so I had to figure that one out.
Well, we got a shitload of people on.
Yes, so. I'm getting there. I'm loading all my windows now.
All right, let's rock and roll because we got to get some donations here. People are giving us money. Let's tell them.
Yep.
How about we stop everything, but just let's get a couple donations in so people feel appreciated. Here we go.
Yes.
Their president.
Democrats have had the opposite reaction to the Oval Office meeting. Democratic Senator Chris Murphy from Connecticut posted this. What just happened in the Oval Office was a planned ambush designed to help a brutal Russian dictator and hurt America's security. Trump has become Putin's lapdog, and America's global power is hemorrhaging as America sides with dictators over democracy. What an embarrassment. Do you think the confrontation in the Oval Office today was pre-planned, like Senator Murphy suggests?
I don't know.
You don't know? You think maybe?
I don't know. No. I don't. I don't know about it. I think no. I think it was just a really tough situation because we've been very open.
All right, Zelenskyy, $350 billion you've received since 2014. Let me give you a little fucking advice for free. You can hire me if you want. I'll be pro-Slava Ukraine if you pay me the right amount of money. Here's the answer. Of course not. The President of the United States doesn't ambush people. We had an argument because I lost my temper. And I'm going to do what I can over the next 24 to 48 hours to sow those bridges that I impacted today. But these are three men who have opinions. I overstepped. And I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure that we get this peace deal done. I'm ready to sign the rights, and we will get this done. I trust the president when he says that he will stand by Ukraine, and he's given us. That's it. There's your free advice. Christine Clark says, just because I love all of you. Well, we love you too, Christine Clark. Christine, we're not going to get your email tonight. I'm going to have to do it on Monday. But God, I promise you, and you need to make sure to remind me, I will get it taken care of, but it's too busy tonight, hon.
Open, very direct.
What set you off? What made you mad? Because they said your tenor and tone set that.
It's not about mad. It's not, Brad. You see, how to say? When you are in the United States, and for example, president or vice president or somebody or senators, doesn't matter, big politicians, yes? When they, for example, say that.
Gary Whitney Eck. Oh, my God. It's Eric's ex-brother, Liv.
Ugh.
Trump and Vance really shows their true colors today. Yeah, red, fucking white, and blue, Gary. Red, fucking white, and blue are the colors you're thinking of. Sorry, it's not yellow and red with a hammer and sickle like you guys want. But yeah, red, white, and blue, motherfucker.
Almost destroyed. That our soldiers run away. That they are not heroes. That Ukraine lost millions of civilians. That his president is dictator. You know? What is the reaction? It's not about me. The reaction is that...
Thomas Griffith he got a presidential dress down fitting of a SMLMAO. Thank you for the donation, buddy. Yeah, it was pretty ugly. I mean, he dressed him down the moment he walked in with his tracksuit. And listen, folks, I'm not fucking around tonight. Like, if you're going to come after Trump, I'm going to defend him, full-throated defense. So you better have your ducks in a row. You better call in 804-212-2208. You better bring the pain. I want to hear why tonight was bad for America and not a complete disaster for Ukraine. Give me a break. Please, have the cojones, have the stones, have the ball bearings, have the huevos to call in and tell me why this wasn't good for the United States and bad for us instead.
I can see the commercial for that. Bum, bum. Good job, Chad. Thanks a lot. You know, being a male dancer is hard, especially when you gotta shave your huevos. That's why I use Huevo Splash. Huevo Splash, you sexy mother.
About me, the reaction is that where is our friendship between Ukraine and the United States? That's it. This is filling, and that's why I do not want to lose our great partners at the United States. And I just said that it's not the first time. I said it by phone, and we had some other conversations, and we had in Munich meetings, and I said, please, be correct. I want to be very polite. I mean this, be correct with this number. When you say about the number, each person is important. When you say about 1 million of losses, we don't have any million of losses. When you speak about the territories, maybe some territories.
Thank you, CJ. I'm so blessed for you and your crew. After the truth I hear from y'all, thank you. You're welcome, CJ. Thanks for the donation.
Their fathers, mothers, their relatives, grandfathers, they died during this war. Nobody wants to forgive Putin. It's not funny, you know, or fairy tale. This is real life. That's what I said. And when you said it, a lot of times to my big friends who've been here today in our dialogue, and then they again begin to repeat the same things, I think it's not. I mean, that's why I said it's not good way between partners, good partners and friends. That's it. And I think that if journalists asking questions to president, with all respect to vice president, I mean, he has his interview.
Mr.
This
President,
is
shouldn't this dynamic, if you're going to be like this?
Oh, you little shit. You just every single intelligence agency that is responsible for tracking your BIOS just put down that you have absolutely no respect for our country and the hierarchy of leadership in our country. You just tried to undress the Vice President of the United States, and you just sacrificed lives of Ukrainians because you were in a dick measuring contest with J.D. Vance. That's exactly what you just said. We have our conference. He should butt out and mind his own. Oh, my God. What a putz.
So do you regret that? Are you regretting that happened today?
Regretting?
Sorry, emotional, having remorse, reflecting upon. Consolatory. Retraction.
Day.
A learning moment. Oh shit. At this moment, I now know I fucked up.
Yes, I think it was not good. I think it was not good because we had a lot of different dialogues. I'm always open to media, but there are very sensitive things. I just want to be honest, and I just want our partners to understand the situation correctly. And I want to understand everything correctly. That's about us. Not to lose our friendship.
A couple more things. What are the next steps in your mind? Here we are today.
Yeah.
What are the next steps?
I think so. United States wanted this deal very much, and we've been not against this deal, but we wanted to understand what parts in security guarantees will take this
Nobody gives a shit.
Just again to understand for our people during the war what you don't like, even sometimes hate, surprises. It's understandable. Many terrible things this war brought to us. So we don't want any surprises.
Kev Stir,
yes,
this guy is in no position to ask for anything.
Partners. And I think this deal, it was prepared by
buddy.
teams. It was not simple during weeks. And now it's ready. I think that they have to sign. The countries have to sign. The ministers have to sign. That's it. I don't know when they will do it.
It was at this moment that Nathan knew he fucked up.
The minerals deal did not have security guarantees listed in it.
It's a part.
The security guarantees?
This is the part in the infrastructure of security guarantees. Because, for example, President Trump said that I think so that if we will be there in some productions and etc. in minerals, that Putin will never come on this territory where we are. And I said to him, don't trust Putin. Why? I said, because it's not, we respect and we believe in strongness of the United States, but I said to him that we had more than 20 companies, American companies, big companies on the territory of Ukraine, and we had offices even on temporary occupied territories. For Putin, it doesn't matter. It's American or European company or Ukraine. It doesn't matter. He just came and occupied it. That's what I said. I think this is a great idea, how to strengthen Ukraine and how to make business between two countries, how to make additional jobs for two countries. But it's not just this will not save us.
I read what the Democratic senator said, that Trump has become Putin's lapdog. Do you agree with that President Trump is too close to Vladimir Putin in your mind?
We spoke about it, and I think...
Gary, guys, delete that comment. Gary, last time. Don't put links in chat, dude. This is a live show. We don't need people leaving this to go watch something. It's self-promotion. If you want to promote on my page, you certainly can let me know. I'll be happy to promote you in due time, but not during a live show. Last time I warn you. Thanks.
These guys at the table.
And is he right?
I want to be very honest. I want really him to be more at our side. I will explain why. Because it's not just that the war began somewhere between our countries. The war began when Russia brought this war to our country, and they're not right. And they are not right. They didn't respect our territorial integrity. They brought the war on our territory to our families. Sorry for repeating, to our houses. And they're not right. And of course, all the Ukrainians want to hear strong position of the United States on our side. From one side, it's understandable. From another side, he wants to find some way of dialogue with Putin. But he always said, as I remember, he always said that peace through strength. And that's why I think that he's strong, United States strong, two parties together in this question, two parties always together against Russia. You're very strong to do strong steps against Putin.
Americans are worried about where the money has gone.
Yeah.
Will there be a very rigorous accounting of where the money has gone? It seems like there is some question about whether there's corruption or sold military equipment.
No, it can't be so. 100 billions we've got during 3 years.
183 from the U.S.
Yeah. Now, on the paper, in the documents, yes, but we have, in fact, because 67 came like a weapon. It came through the border. It's checked and it's fixed by everybody, and we shared it not once with the American side. And 31.5, it was direct financial support to the budget. Again, it's very open, it's digitalized, it's open, free, and please, if somebody wants to check it again, we are very, very open with this.
Last thing, Mr. President.
No, it's not the last thing.
Do you think your relationship?
That's very, very wrong.
Exactly.
It's very, very wrong.
I was listening when I was getting ready upstairs, and every time he said "very," I'm like, "Very." It sounds like a.
I only heard about $74 billion accounted for right there. 31 to the budget, and then he said like 36 to military weaponry. That's 67. Where's the rest of it? Love is in the air everywhere I go. Yes, it is, Bobby Richardson. Thank you for the donation. Seriously, where's the rest of the money? Show me
the money.
That's not how it goes. Dude, you fucked it up.
Excuse
It's
me.
show me the money. That's what Jerry goes, show me the money. No, Jerry, I want to hear you say it. Show me the money. No, not me, you. Show you the money. I'm going to show you the motherfucking money. That one. I think we've got that clip somewhere.
I'm sure we do.
For today can be salvaged.
Oh, it can be. Yes, of course, because it's relations more than two presidents. It's the historical relations, strong relations between our people. And that's why I always began with to thank your people from our people.
Show you the money.
This is the most important. And of course, thankful
Show me the money. Yeah! Louder! Show me the money. That's it, brother, but you got to yell that shit. Show me the money. I need to feel you, Jerry. Show me the money. Jerry, you better yell. Show me the money!
And of course, thankful to President and of course to Congress, but first of all to your people. Your people help to save our people. People, the first. Human rights, the first. This is very, very important. And we are thankful and sorry for this. I mean, we wanted very much to have only strong relations, and I very count that we will have it.
Mr. President, we're honored that you kept this interview. Thank you very much for the time.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
When we come back, we'll bring in our panel for analysis after this.
I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security.
Thank you very much,
President
Kimberly.
Donald J. Trump, for securing our
$21.10.
border.
Really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you, Kimberly. We do appreciate you. Where'd it go? And bam. We do appreciate you so much, folks. We got so much shit on our first commercial. They're like, "Where's the English guy? Where's the slammin' jammin', rock'em sock'em, badass commercials?" And so I had to redo it. I had to fire Soccer Mom.
Oh.
And yeah, because you guys were so rude to her, she cried. She said she'll never work in this business again. Says the dummies are just assholes. And I told her, I said, yeah, I know. I can't believe they did that. We'll be right back.
The Dumb Show is built on real conversations, raw, unfiltered, and fearless. Big Tech didn't like that. Facebook pulled our funding, tried to shut us down. But for over a year, you, our incredible viewers, have kept us going. Your support, your donations, your time, it all matters. Most of you spend 10 plus hours a week with us. Compare that to Netflix, maybe 5 hours a month. We believe we're worth that time. And we hope you do too. But listen, we don't want giving to feel like a burden. We want it to feel good. So take a second to ensure you're in a good spot. If you're in a place to give, that will be amazing. If not, just liking and sharing helps more than you know. Visit thedumbshow.com/donate. Whether it's PayPal, Venmo, or mail, every bit helps to keep us going. Dumb Nation, we appreciate you more than words can say.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
Same thing with donations. We never know what we're going to get, so we get surprised. People like to drag us till the end of the show and make us wait, and it's really, really emotionally taxing. Best show going. We got your back. Keep up the great work, Keith Baker. You are the bomb. $21.10. Thanks, Keith. All right, so let's get into it. I mean, Liv, I wrote you what time today and said, holy shit, you're not going to believe what happened.
God, like 2:30 maybe? 2:30, 2:45, something in that area, maybe?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, now that we know we have to protect Ukraine and that there's no option, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, you got to see the initial video. Now you've seen his interview with Brett Baer. What are your thoughts?
I think he's full of shit.
Ooh.
I think he was expecting the red carpet to be laid out, the Ukrainian flag to be flown above the American flag, and for Trump to pucker up and kiss his ass, just like Biden did. And that's not what happened. And now he's walking away with his tail between his legs going, holy fuck, I just messed up. And uh-oh, what are we going to do? So I need to figure out what we're going to do. And he knows he fucked up, and he better figure it out soon. Because, this isn't Biden. This is the last 4 years. America, in my opinion, was one of the weakest on the planet because of our president. And I think every country knew that. I mean, it showed the way they treated Biden, not meeting him at the airport, not putting out the red carpet, making him stand in the corner, not greeting him when he came to their countries. I mean, they thought he was weak and they treated him like it. And they should have known how Trump was going to be from when he was in office before. And they should have known that they were not going to get another Biden. And I'm glad this happened because now the rest of the world knows who's in charge in the United States. And I think they're all going, okay, we better be in line and have our T's crossed and our I's dotted and make sure everything is good to go before we go over there and talk to him. But I've always thought Zelenskyy was a scumbag anyway.
It's the truth, I'm telling you.
So
thanks, Ted. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I agree. It didn't start off well. Like, this whole thing did not start off well. It went a certain way. Listen, if you're going to come to the White House, I understand Tim Pool wore his beanie and, whatever, but you put on a fucking suit.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm a t-shirt and jeans guy, but I clean up nice, and I don't have a problem cleaning up. And if I'm going to meet the President of the United States, if I'm going to meet a mid-level official, I'm going to be in a suit.
Yeah, you better damn well we're going to look good.
Yeah, like if I'm going to interview Mike Rowe, I'm going to dress like Mike Rowe. But you always dress for the occasion. And if you don't know, you should ask the question. This is not, listen to how he kind of undressed Zelenskyy right away.
You're all dressed up. Oh my goodness. Passive aggressive much?
Wait a second, honey. Let him hear.
Pretty close. How are you? Pretty shut.
He's all dressed up today.
President Trump, what's your message to Vladimir Putin, sir? President Trump, you got a copy. President Trump, you got a message to Vladimir Putin.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
At that point, I knew it was not going to go well for the day. You completely just like, you undressed him about his dress. I mean, that's all right. Let's roll reverse. Okay. And Prince Charles is in England and they're all going to play polo. And they're in their polo jerseys and they're in their riding smocks and high leather horse boots, and they've got their mallets and their helmets, and they smell all of Ralph Lauren polo. And Donald Trump walks in and they see him, and Donald Trump's in one of his famous dark blue suits with his red tie. And they go, "Oh, Donald, did you not get the memo, love? We're playing polo. You possibly can't play polo in that. My God, if you have to get off the old horsey and fill in the divots, my God, you're going to ruin those shoes. Fucking Americans." We would probably nuke the fuck out of them. We would send England back to the 1600s. So, although Donald Trump didn't do that, he definitely undressed a world leader because, listen, I don't think Zelenskyy, I just told you, I think Zelensky's nothing. I think Ukraine is nothing. It's not a pimple on America's ass. But Democrats have given this guy airtime. They draped his flag in the freaking Congress floor, for God's sakes. They have invited this guy to publicly speak to Congress like 7 times. This guy campaigned for Kamala Harris in Pennsylvania. They've given him the world stage, whether we agree with it or not. So if you want to kind of escape the I'm a mob tracksuit Fila, Congo type tracksuit wearing guy, you might not want to dress like a mob hitman when you go and see the President of the United States. Just a thought. Just a thought. $21.10, Deborah McLaughlin. Love you guys. Always learn so much and have fun at the same time. Good. Learning and having fun is fun. I was going to make a sexual comment. I stopped. I grew up. So how did all this start? Well, I want to go back to the tracksuit. So now understand this. Trump is all about, I want you to imagine this. President Trump, his relationships are like a tug of war match. So Liv, you and I are going to play tug of war. You ready?
Okay.
All right. So go ahead. Get your hands ready.
Yeah.
Okay. So you go ahead and I'm President Trump. And I see you, and I'm just going to pull just a little bit. All right. I'm not going to bring you all the way. Come on. Move your arms. Move them. Okay. And I'm going to pull you like this. Now, you're going to go ahead and decide, I'm going to pull back a little bit. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
You're not moving.
All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Okay. Now, I don't like that. So I'm going to go ahead and pull. All right. Now it's your turn. I'm not going to move now. You don't get any. Try to pull. Look stressed.
Not working.
I'm supposed to pull you over.
Let go of the rope.
That was the worst fucking... Will you please come over to my side?
I am not a method actor.
Just get over here when I pull you. Not like that. You got to pretend. You got to put your hands out and do this right. There you go. All right, great. Thank you. So that's Trump. He's going to hit you, and you're allowed to tap him back. But if you hit him back, he is going to punch you square in the throat. Yvonne Barkley. Oh God, we got a lib lab. Are you? Of course, she's got a picture of a dog because her family has completely abandoned her. Here it is. Wah wah wah. It's actually womp womp womp. Yeah, twat. Do you see Elon Musk dressed like a Men in Black mob boss, right? Or you're blind, or you're all just ass kissers. Well, I lick ass too. I mean, I'm just not about kissing. I mean, you got to get in there sometimes. You got to take one for the team, lady. We're not talking about Elon Musk. We're talking about Vladimir Zelenskyy, who is wearing a tracksuit to meet the President of the United States. Elon Musk has met the President of the United States, and the first time he met him at a rally, he was wearing a suit. Once you've met Donald Trump and built a relationship with him, decorum can meet certain levels of acceptance. If you look at Fetterman, if you look at Terrence Williams, if you look at Tim Pool, Donald Trump is okay with that. But if you're meeting to sign a deal for peace, do you think maybe, just maybe, you might want to wear a suit, considering you never do? What occasion would require a suit besides your funeral and marriage outside of this? So, Yvonne, think about that for a little bit, and then you can kiss my pucker. Your mama is a twat. My mama's dead, bitch. So that didn't hurt me at all. So you got a picture of a dog, which means you're lonely and you're obviously out of peanut butter, which is why you're here. So I'd run to the store so your love life can go ahead and not take the impact. Keister Bunny says Zelenskyy is an actor who was intentionally chosen to emulate Castro's "the people's fight never ends" aesthetic. It's a front of sympathy and false man of the people messaging. Okay? Interesting. Yvonne says, y'all's a yes, y'all. May, I've never seen so many men worshiping a man as much as y'all do, y'all gay. It's Y''ALL, and you're illiterate. And no.
I love her next one. She was a twizit before she died. Yeah, I would totally fucking agree. She was a complete bitch.
Total bitch.
So you hit that one nail.
Total bitch.
Nail on the head.
Total, one of the worst people on the planet. You've got it right.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
It's the only thing you've said that actually, first of all, is spelled correctly, and second, it makes any sense. Booty roast, stupid roast. Okay, yeah, you're fucking gone, lady. Go get your peanut butter and drink a little wee too many martinis. Holy shit, the crazies are out tonight. Oh,
yes.
No, you got banned, bitch. She posted 7. Y'all gay. Too bad.
Bummer.
I'm too quick. That's what your husband said. By the way, I saw on your profile that it says that you're a widow. Your husband isn't dying, lady, or dead. He's fucking hiding. Debbie Augustine donated $21.10. Thanks for covering this.
No feet comments, Debbie. Are you feeling okay?
Don't start that. All right. So Zelenskyy sits down. He's in the press pool. They're in front of the fireplace, the yellow gold couches. And then this happens. Jody, it's okay. Just ignore it. Our trolls are fantastic. We love them. This is a reporter. I'll give you his name in a second, but listen to what he says. So I think people saw Zelenskyy dressed like he was as an insult, right? You've got JD in a suit. You got Marco Rubio in a suit. You've got all of his entourage in suits. I mean, everyone from the Ukraine was in suits.
To be honest, I don't know if I've ever seen Zelenskyy in a suit.
He's been in a suit.
Has he? Okay.
Yeah, he's been in a suit. When he had his bris when he turned 12 like a year ago.
Got it.
So here's what this reporter said. I'll give you his name in a second. Listen to this. This is kind of gold. And immediately, I mean, this wasn't just the president who set the tone for this meeting, folks. This was the press, too. Everyone kind of seemed to be pissed at him.
My second question for President Zelenskyy. Why don't you wear a suit? Why don't you wear a suit? You're at the highest level in this country's office, and you refuse to wear a suit. Just want to see if do you own a suit?
Yeah, problems.
A lot of Americans have problems with you not respecting.
I don't have such.
Office.
I will wear a costume after this war will finish.
Okay.
Yes, maybe one.
Maybe something like
yours. Yes. Maybe something better. I don't know. We will see. Maybe something cheaper than. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for.
So it kind of got tense. I mean, that's somebody from the press who's dressing down Zelenskyy. So, you know what Zelenskyy should have said? Really, really simple. Is it's not only Ukraine that's had their airports impacted. American luggage systems aren't that good, and we're not going to be able to get my bag until tomorrow. So I bought this at the local JCPenney. Something funny, right? Just do anything other than what you just did, which is take offense and say, I'll wear a costume. Because what you just said is every single person in the Oval Office right there is a clown and dressing up. And you are somehow the one who's right for the occasion. This is your issue. You're an arrogant little dick, okay? Once again, I don't care what Elon Musk wears. We're not talking about Elon Musk. Elon Musk is an American citizen. Elon Musk works for the president. They obviously have a conversation that they agree with what he can wear, and he wears at least a suit jacket. It doesn't mean that Elon Musk is the cat's meow or anything like that. What it means, and I don't agree with the way Elon Musk dresses either. So that's what's known as whataboutism. It's not relevant to the conversation because we're talking about Zelenskyy. We're not talking about Elon Musk. Now, some people are saying that Marco Rubio looked very uncomfortable during this exchange. He's the Secretary of State. Here it is. And it's not, oh, by the way, the reporter's name, in case you want to know, Brian Glenn is the reporter. Here is Marco Rubio's reaction. Watch this. Oh, damn it. Sorry, happens sometimes. Not much I can do about it. Little break in the action. Olivia?
Well, Ash came in and is taking her evening nap.
Yes, she is.
She heard her
in
name.
this country's office, and you refuse to wear a suit. Next level in this country's office, and you refuse to wear a suit. Just want to see if you do you own a suit?
Yeah, problems.
A lot of Americans have problems with you not respecting.
I don't
the
have
dignity of
such.
this office.
I will wear a costume after this war will finish.
Okay.
Yes, maybe.
Maybe
something
like
like
this.
yours.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Maybe something better. I don't know. We will see. Maybe.
Well, $183 billion buys some nice suits at Kids Gap. So he should be. See, I took your joke and I implemented it into the show. Keister says, I didn't have time to stop at Gap Kids before our meeting. See, I got your back. See? It all works out.
Cheaper than, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for
Marco Rubio isn't mad at Donald Trump. He's looking at Zelenskyy going, this guy is a complete turd. The interesting thing about this whole dilemma is nobody gave a shit when Biden lost his temper with Zelenskyy on a phone call about Ukraine. And this happened early in the war. So someone explained to me why they're just going absolutely crazy over Donald Trump, but nobody cares when Biden lost his temper with Zelenskyy. In fact, if you go and read the Post in the article, it says Biden had barely finished telling Zelenskyy he just greenlit another $1 billion in U.S. military assistance for Ukraine when Zelenskyy started listing all the additional help he needed and wasn't getting. Biden lost his temper, and people familiar with the call said the American people were being quite generous, and his administration and U.S. military were working hard to help Ukraine, he said, raising his voice, and Zelenskyy could show a little more gratitude. Oh my God, it sounds like Trump. Can you believe that Joe Biden is putting our democracy in jeopardy, Olivia? I mean, freedom and democracy is on the table here. It's literally, quite literally, the end of days for freedom and democracy in the U.S. because we upset Zelenskyy. Can you please tell me why Joe Biden tried to emulate Donald Trump at that time? And what are your thoughts about that?
Well, first, comment about Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio in that video looked like a teenager that was watching a movie with their parents, and the movie happened to have a sex scene in it. It's watching that with their parents.
Right. Just total
That's what Marco Rubio looked like, completely
right.
and utterly uncomfortable. Well, it's a double standard. The Democrats can do whatever the fuck they want. Of course, Biden can get mad at Zelenskyy, but bad orange man can never lose his temper, ever. Yeah. And honestly, Donald Trump didn't lose his temper. He just put Zelenskyy in his place.
Oh, yeah, because we're going to watch that, and we're going to break it down for you. And I've got the whole 46 minutes, and we're not going to watch the 46 minutes, but we are going to watch about 7 minutes and 36 seconds if you haven't seen it yet. So everyone knows what we're talking about. Like I said, we're working backwards tonight. $234.24 out of the goal of 500. We are going to shift gears into C Block and talk a little bit about the Ukrainian ambassador's reaction, which is about as cringe as it comes. Olivia, you're going to be able to read her body language because you're a woman. That is correct, right?
Yes, I am a biological woman. Now, would I actually consider myself? That's a whole nother story, but we'll go.
Okay, well, we're going to let Gigi there figure that out, okay. And we're going to play this. We have a big goal tonight, so we're hitting another donation commercial.
The Dumb Show is built on real conversations, raw, unfiltered, and fearless. Big Tech didn't like that. Facebook pulled our funding, tried to shut us down. But for over a year, You, our incredible viewers, have kept us going. Your support, your donations, your time, it all matters. Most of you spend 10 plus hours a week with us. Compare that to Netflix, maybe 5 hours a month. We believe we're worth that time, and we hope you do too. But listen, we don't want giving to feel like a burden. We want it to feel good. So take a second to ensure you're in a good spot. If you're in a place to give, that will be amazing. If not, just liking and sharing helps more than you know. Visit thedumbshow.com/donate. Whether it's PayPal, Venmo, or Mail, every bit helps to keep us going. Dumb Nation, we appreciate you more than words can say.
I have a video of right when Zelenskyy was tossed out of the White House. Now, it's my understanding that they were going to eat lunch. The entire entourage from the Ukrainian side and the Americans, Marco Rubio, JD Vance, and President Donald Trump, excuse me. And my understanding is that something happened right before that, and then they gave the food. Melanie says, Matt, are you mad at me now? No, I just think you're insensitive and a sexist and think that women can't do commercials properly. So I just replaced it and spent another $175 of my hard-earned money on you because you are a horrible human being. No, I'm not mad. Why would I be mad? Do I sound mad? I don't think I'm mad. I'm cool as Zelenskyy, Melanie, to be honest with you. It didn't cost $175. This guy did me a favor, and I told him, I said, listen, I wasted my money on a soccer mom, and it didn't work out. My fans didn't like it. Can you hook me up? And he gave it to me for free. He's a nice guy. Got your Moab coffee today. Good, Tamar. That's good. He is. And his name is... he's actually over in England, and even though I talk shit about the English all the time, I actually do very much like English people for the most part. And I've used this guy several times, and I'm trying to find his tag name because I know his first name, but I don't know his tag. Thanks, Liv. While I'm looking this up, why don't you do it?
It's Beebs from Rumble Chat. $50, thank you. Rare giving mood is what it says.
Well, Beebs, thank you. I wish Rumble would give us because they still haven't paid us. It's been all the way since November, so we hope that money maybe cues them to pay us. So thank you so much, Beebs.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, but there's a few $100s sitting in there, and they still haven't paid us. His name is Chris Marsden, and like I said, real good dude. This is Chris. He's over in England, and he does great work for us, and he does all of our voiceovers. Anyway, so it's my understanding they were going to eat lunch, and then the lunch was given to the staffers. Donald Trump and team just let them eat it, and people started opening and eating burgers and eating all the food and stuff. And the reason why is because Zelenskyy got tossed, and I think we're the only show that actually has the video.
Let me address Steve. Steve, we had to order more books, and we just got them. We are packing them up tonight and sending them out tomorrow. So we apologize for the delay, but yeah, we didn't. We had to order more. So
it's standard shipping 3 to 5 days. We're well within that window. But once again, she's right. So depending upon when you ordered, but we are as good as we get. Trust me. Usually orders are sent within 24 to 48 hours. But we just got the books last night. I did give an update, Steve. I apologize I didn't tell you. But they will be, like Olivia said, sent out tomorrow morning.
Dropping them off at the post office tomorrow morning.
And I've got like 20 boxes to send out. So I'm going to be up for a bit. Hey, Alex, do I ship international if you pay for it? How are you, man? I've missed you. I was wondering where you are the other day.
It's been on.
Good to see you, Alex. It's been a long time, dude. Good to see you. But yeah, I mean, just work with me. I'll send you a bill and we'll figure out international shipping and all that stuff. We'll work it out. Okay. Anyway, here is the video of Vladimir Zelenskyy being tossed out. And I only have a quick, I think I'm the only one who has this video. I don't know if anyone else has this, but we sure do here at the Dumb Show. And you're going to see it here first. Here is the actual video. Enjoy.
My name is Volodymyr Zelenskyy. You're probably wondering how I got here.
We'll watch it one more time just so you guys can have this. Pretty exciting.
My name is Volodymyr Zelenskyy. You're probably wondering how I got here.
You're welcome. And just remember, only at the Dumb Show, folks. If that doesn't help us hit goal, I don't know what will. Here is a video that isn't fake, which is the ambassador for Ukraine looking like she is literally trying to negotiate with a 10-pound turd out of a 1-pound hole. She does not look comfortable in any way, shape, or form. And here it is. Olivia?
Yes, I'm watching.
Tell us what she's thinking.
But I said to you, I want a ceasefire because you get a ceasefire faster than an agreement. Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think. But I said to you, I want a ceasefire because you get a ceasefire faster than.
So
that
go ahead.
That is the disappointed mom look. That is totally. Whenever our kids do something stupid in public, I'm like, oh, mother of God, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. That's exactly what I'm doing. And that's exactly what she is doing right now. So, yeah, she's very embarrassed. She's pretty upset. And she's like, oh my God, I have to take care of this later. I have to do something about this. Now she's got to go clean up the mess. Yeah, that's a total mom look.
Well, and if you don't think Trump and Vance are seeing this, I will be shocked if he doesn't. I mean, he's getting read the riot act. There's no doubt. He fucked this up.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there is just, even in the worst case, and all you did was show that everyone knows who Donald Trump is. You rose to the occasion and you were just as petulant. So Trump kind of, I think, wanted to show people what was going on. And I think he wanted to show people who this guy was. And if Donald Trump and Joe Biden both agree that this guy's kind of a dick, why not show that on the stage? Because it helps explain some things. So here is Jackie Heinrich.
Zelenskyy.
I think it's AG.
AG.
From Rumble.
AG from Rumble Chat donated $30. I'm amazed that it took so long for Trump's face to really get red with Zelenskyy. I think he was getting hot. Once he said that we were going to suffer the same fate from Russia, I don't think he liked that shit at all. He said, nope, not going to do that. By the way, 108 on Twitter, 107 on Facebook, 34 on YouTube, minus my troll. And we got a whole bunch on Rumble Chat and Winkin.
77 on Rumble.
77 on Rumble. Great to see everybody on Rumble. And listen, thank you guys for donating to Rumble. We appreciate it. I think we're going to be okay now. I had to submit a 1099 or some shit to them, even though I had already done it. But they said that they're going to start giving us our money. Thank God. So hopefully we'll cross our fingers. Here is Jackie Heinrich, who's not too happy with the Trump administration right now. She thinks that being selective with the media and removing people is against, freedom of speech. I don't. You don't have a right to be at the White House press corps.
No,
and,
you don't.
Sorry, but when you guys start reporting the truth, then you'll be good. Now, Jackie Heinrich hasn't been removed. She's upset because I think most of the press stay together because these guys travel together. They sleep in the same hotels. They become friends. They probably screw a lot. I mean, let's be honest with you. So I just, they're going to back each other up. But I think Jackie Heinrich's on the wrong side of this. But anyway, here is her assessment of what just happened. And listen to the panic in Fox's voice. I mean, you could hear the proverbial shit hit the fan on this.
This is what I was told. The president has kicked Zelenskyy out of the White House. His delegation right now is telling him that he's got to go home. The president felt disrespected. Officials in the room felt that beyond the language barrier that we've heard some discussion about, Zelenskyy's body language, shrugging and eye rolling, was ungrateful, disrespectful. And the president feels that Zelenskyy is not ready for peace and he can come back when he's ready to talk about peace. But he's not in that position right now. And Zelenskyy is being told he's got to go. The lunch that they were supposed to have is sitting right outside the hallway, and the press staffers are going to be eating that lunch. This is really pretty incredible. We see the
Jackie,
SUV,
hang on with us
Zelensky's
one moment.
SUV.
If you look to your left, you're going to see him. Let's watch.
Mr. President, is the deal off? President Zelenskyy, can you tell us what happened? Donald Trump Orpolta äsken saimme tietää, että tuon mineraalisopimuksen allekirjoittaminen peruttiin kokonaan ja Zelenskyy juuri astui autoonsa. Sadat toimittajat.
Did you sign the minerals deal? Did you sign the minerals deal? Why were you so disrespectful to the president?
Why are you so fucking short? It reminds me of the movie, like Not Another Teen Movie, where like, oh my God, that's gonna stain. And all the voices are in the background. Yeah. Great job. So that happened there. And then this is the 46-minute version. If anybody wants it, I'm going to give you the link right now so you can go watch the whole thing. I already watched it. I was taking notes. And I feel like I was live on TV when Oswald got shot. Like that's what it felt like to me. I'm sitting here watching this boring fucking 40-minute conference where I'm like, oh my God, can something happen? Can something happen? Can some reporter say something stupid so Trump like lays it on? And then all of a sudden Zelenskyy starts like getting lippy with Vance. And I'm like, oh, it's on now. Scott asked the question, Matt, do you believe the escalation of this war mainly stems from Ukraine oligarchs' authority within the Donetsk and Luhansk regions, using military force on Ukraine separatists before Russia actually involved themselves? Would like to hear your opinion and thoughts. Listen, that is a whole nother conversation that maybe we can get into the end. Scott, I think it's a very valid question. I'm going to give you the very, very high level of this. You know, people talk about the Donetsk agreement. They go ahead and say, well, who broke what and who started what? They both have been having a civil war since 2014. The Black Sea insertion of Russia having one of the largest naval bases there, the constant threat of an embargo against the Black Sea is essentially shuts Ukraine down. Putin did not want an additional 700 miles of border to guard if they join NATO. The tensions of this is long. This long history is not just since 2021. It's certainly not since 2014. And we can go back to the 1900s. Ukraine used to be Russia. A lot of countries used to be Russia. And the old school Iron Curtain wants expansion of the USSR mentality and to bring Russia back to its former state. That's not going to happen, but it doesn't stop them trying. It happened with Crimea. We saw this in Bosnia and Herzegovina. We saw this obviously in Ukraine and Syria. These things continue to happen. Did Putin invade Ukraine? Yes. Did Putin have a choice? Listen, for the survival of Putin's country, no. Ukraine was within a decade of being with NATO. NATO has been expanding since, 1978, 79, even bigger than it was in World War I, constantly adding countries. And NATO is growing and expanding so far, so fast, that how would we feel? You also have to look at Ukraine with the capabilities of that they made a peace agreement with Clinton and surrendered their nuclear missiles. This essentially gave Russia an extreme amount of power. And all of these things play a part. So the issue that I have is that this is none of our business. This is a civil war. This is a conflict between Russia and a conflict between Ukraine. Just because you get invaded by a larger military doesn't mean Russia hasn't been invaded several times by larger militaries, and it's been the smaller military. Shit happens. This is why a strong defense budget is important, why free healthcare is not your number one priority as a country, Canada, and you should protect yourself. Russia has a military. Its entire economic system is based upon its military, and they felt it necessary to handle this today and face Ukraine with some proxy intervention versus facing NATO. Does it mean that I agree with them? No. Do I think that Putin should eat something in his oatmeal that makes his head fall off? Yes. But I have also stated that within the next 10 years of a treaty being signed, one of us, our allies, or we will be funding a proxy going into Ukraine. I believe there will be an active war in Ukraine that will be one of our allies or the United States involved with. I'm telling you right now, it is a matter of time, because what we have done is we have given the bully and the corrupt person in Russia all of the attention and negativity, and somehow espoused that Zelenskyy empowered him with a public image as a hero and a savior when he is not. And that God complex that we have created is going to gain him more notoriety on the world stage now that this happened, and Donald Trump's enemies are going to fund him. And this is where Zelenskyy might have to go ahead and make some tough decisions where he gets his money from people that we don't necessarily get along with. And if that happens, the United States and Ukraine will most assuredly become an enemy. And do we want something worse than what we have, which is Russia surrounded by NATO? Or do we want to stick a foreign country like Ukraine in the middle of NATO who has hostile intentions against countries surrounding it? Yeah, that's the thing people aren't talking about. Russia has been controlled and handled since World War II, minus the Cold War, we understand. And yes, they go ahead and take territory. And yes, they go ahead and create chaos. But better about the enemy that you know versus the one you don't. And I believe Ukraine will become a much larger liability in the next 10 years than Russia is right now, because Ukraine has demonstrated no resolve or no maturity when it comes to the power that they yield. This is why they're corrupt. This is why their country is complete dog shit, and why they can't join NATO. There it is. Okay? There's the long answer to a pretty short question. Steven.
Can I say something after that?
Yeah, Stephen Cornett donated $60. The goal. Thanks, Stephen. Yeah, go ahead, baby.
Mr. Joseph Hillstrom.
Yeah.
He said, go Minnesota Wild tonight.
Fuck you.
I have a joke for you,
yeah,
Mr. Hillstrom.
This is good, Joe.
Why can't you get a drink in Minnesota?
I don't know, Liv. Why can't you get a drink?
Because there are no cups there.
It's the truth.
But you can at least get 3 drinks in Colorado.
That's
so.
right. Three very large drinks. Listen, I don't talk shit about teams during hockey. Good luck to the Wild. I've learned it's only off season. I just don't do it. Anyway, 46-minute video is here. You guys can go ahead and read it, watch it, listen to it. It's right there. It's on Rapid Response 47 is the account. We're going to watch the 7-minute version, and this is really it. Now,
this thing over with. You see the
right away, Donald Trump starts talking about the hate that Zelenskyy has for Putin. And this is where it goes. I want you to watch Trump's reaction when he says that we will have the same fate as Russia. Here it is.
This thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me to make a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous hatred. And I understand that, but I can tell you the other side isn't exactly in love with, him either. So it's not a question of alignment. I'm aligned with the world. I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with Europe. I want to see if we can get this thing done. You want me to be tough? I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be so tough. But you're never going to get a deal that way, so that's the way it goes. All right, one more question.
Hey, I want to respond to this. So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the President of the United States' words mattered more than the President of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So he occupied our big parts of Ukraine, part of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, so I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact line?
2015.
2014
and 2014.
Yeah.
So
I was not here.
Yeah, but
that's exactly right.
Yes, but during 2014 till 2022, the situation the same. The people have been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversations, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him, me, like a new president. In 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. Ceasefire. All of them told me that he will never go. We signed him with gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken this ceasefire. He killed our people, and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems, even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless. God bless. You will not have war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
That's exactly what you're doing.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
You will feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. But right now, you don't. You're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country, that's back to you. Far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once? This entire meeting? No, in this entire meeting, have you said thank you? You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war,
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country is in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a minute. No. You've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning. You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us.
Mr. President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
you haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet.
You haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this cabinet.
We gave you, through this stupid president, $350 billion.
You voted
we gave
for
you
your
military equipment, and your men are brave, but they had to use our military.
What about
if you didn't have our military equipment, if you didn't have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3 days. I heard it from Putin. In 3 days. This is something
maybe
new.
Less.
In 2 weeks. Of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this.
Again,
I tell you.
just say thank you.
I said a lot of times to American people.
Accept that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on.
I understand, sir.
I think it's very important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the cards. You're buried there. Your people are dying. You're running low on soldiers. Listen, you're running low on soldiers. It would be a damn good thing. And then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go and I want this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're saying you don't want a ceasefire.
But I said to you,
I want a ceasefire.
With guarantees.
Because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't with me.
For you what,
that wasn't with me. That was with a guy named Biden who was not a smart person. That was with Obama.
It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
One more question to Mr. Vice President. I'm sorry.
Wow.
My favorite part is when he called Biden a stupid president.
Yeah,
I mean, like that. Makes me laugh every time.
It's because it's accurate. Shirley Butler had a question. Shirley, I'm going to autograph your book tonight, by the way. We did get that message. Olivia told me about it. We had to wait for some more to come in. We sold a whole bunch of them.
Wrong person.
It's Shirley who?
Sherry.
Shit. Shirley, I'm not going to sign your book.
I don't think Shirley bought one.
You don't get a book, Shirley. Ever. You said Shirley Butler and Sherry.
No, Sherry Johnson.
Who? Sherry Johnson. You didn't say Sherry Johnson. You said Shirley Butler. I don't mess up names like that. I don't do that. Yeah, I did. Okay. Matt, don't know if this is true or not. It just seems I heard, read somewhere. What year did the U.S. overthrow? 2014. Is probably just the easiest date I can give you. Look up Euromaidan protests. And it was Viktor Yanukovych, I believe is what his name, or something like that. CIA was heavily involved. There were phone calls from 2014 that were leaked to create dissension in the government. There was essentially regime change, and we installed a leader that we believe that we could go ahead and control. But yeah, it's absolutely true. Joe Biden had a lot of influence on it too, just so you know. But yeah, most assuredly, U.S. was involved in Ukraine. Yes. So there's a lot of history there.
Yes, Stephen, we will.
Stephen Cornett.
Yes.
I already did, didn't I?
No, that was somebody else.
There was Brian.
Three.
I did Brian's book. Now,
Yeah.
Steve. Sure, Steve. Unfortunately, we do $275 for each autograph, so go and send that by check.
All right. If anyone wants their book written in or signed, please email me.
What the fuck? It's more work for me. Why are you making more
Well,
work?
because
I'm
people are
already
already
busy.
asking.
Fuck these people. I don't want to help them.
People are asking, and that way I can keep track. Email me, olivia@thedumbshow.com, so I can keep track, or message me on Facebook so I know who wants it.
It is my pleasure to autograph a book. It's awesome. Did I miss something? Are we at war with Ukraine? God bless Trump for not allowing Biden's policies of giving the world money so that we have to give. Yeah, no, we're not at war with Ukraine. But we're very upset with Ukraine. And Donald Trump is very upset with Ukraine, and good, because he should be. Folks, we have a goal of 374.24. We got to hit it tonight. It's the end of the month. It's closeout month, folks. We got to get rid of this inventory. We got to slash prices. You can get 2 My Pillows for the price of 1 with free shipping. Oh my God.
Stephen, yes, we got your Venmo, and I put it in a little bit ago. Sorry if you did not hear it, but we did. Thank you.
We did, and thank you
We
very,
did.
very,
Shouted you
very,
out, so
very,
thank you.
very, very much. And we did get it, and there's no charge for autographs. Yenny's laying around here somewhere. She's probably with the kids.
You know what? She might be in my room, because she was in the room when I was getting ready, and it's possible Ethan closed the door.
Marky says, what the fuck? I bought 2 sets of books, and I didn't get an autograph. You got a free hat. I gave you a free hat, bitch boy. Seriously. My God, what the fuck, people? What does it look like? I made them money? Anyway, it's end of month. Last day of the month. We always go big on the last day of the month. We're at 500 is the goal. We're at 374. We're 125 away. I'd love to crush it. We've got another hour and 10 minutes of a show that I don't even know what we're going to talk about. So we're just going to have some fun. Maybe what we do is do some calls or just have viewer comments. But listen to this. We'll be right back.
The Dumb Show is built on real conversations, raw, unfiltered, and fearless. Big Tech didn't like that. Facebook pulled our funding, tried to shut us down. But for over a year, you, our incredible viewers, have kept us going. Your support, your donations, your time, it all matters. Most of you spend 10 plus hours a week with us. Compare that to Netflix, maybe 5 hours a month. We believe we're worth that time. And we hope you do too. But listen, we don't want giving to feel like a burden. We want it to feel good. So take a second to ensure you're in a good spot. If you're in a place to give, that will be amazing. If not, just liking and sharing helps more than you know. Visit thedumbshow.com/donate. Whether it's PayPal, Venmo, or mail, every bit helps to keep us going. Dumb Nation, we appreciate you more than words can say.
Holy shit! I started a war. But I've known Marky since like he was like pube 1. He was like 12 when I met him. So yeah, he got a free hat. I want a free hat. Okay, listen to me. If you want a free hat,
Sorry.
What are you laughing at?
Marky said Matt rubbed his musk.
Fuck yes, I did. Of course I did. I teabagged that son of a bitch for like 20 minutes. Absolutely.
Oh, Marky, I bet you enjoyed that. Oh my goodness.
So you're damn right I did. I signed it. Just you can't see the ink. So all right. We don't do free hats here, okay? 2 people have gotten free hats before. I think Bobby got a free hat, and I think Marky got a free hat. I think. Maybe Megan got a free hat. But these are lifelong. Okay, you know what? We don't like you enough. All right, that's it. That's the truth. There it is. Okay, fine. I just told you we don't like you. If you didn't get a free hat from the Dumb Show, we don't like you. We are considering doing a discounted shirt, like really discounted, like really cheap, like not a shitty shirt, but doing them in bulk and then just doing shipping and handling, and I think like $10. So hang with us. We'll see. I know you're kidding, you guys. I'm kidding too. If you think I'm serious, come on. Sherry said, you're the one who said you're giving me your personal copy and writing something in it. I didn't start this. So, yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh, I'm going to write something in it now. You told me to be nice, but fuck that. I'm not going to be nice now. Now you're done.
Oh, it's Friday. Can you tell?
Yeah. Holy crap. George Galloway just buried Piers Morgan on the Ukrainian war. This should be good. Let's go ahead and watch this.
Anything to make Piers Morgan look like an idiot.
That doesn't take a lot. Benny Johnson's on this panel. Well, funny, I've never been on this panel.
Really come to something when...
Is that Jillian Michaels from...
It sure looks like
Biggest
her.
Loser? What the fuck is she doing on there?
I don't know, but that sure looks like her.
Matt, do you have any Gulf of America hats? No, but I can make one. Oh, geez, Louise.
Yeah, we don't have one of those, yeah.
But I can make one. Hi, Friendly Show. What do you want to talk about?
Yo.
Hi.
It's Marky.
What's up? What the fuck, dude? You signed my book.
I want these sweat stains.
I signed your termination papers at Game Crazy when we shut down. Are you there?
Yeah, you did. Me and Flippo.
Did you know that I was the last one? I was the last DM in the company.
I believe it.
Yeah, because
they moved me
to New Mexico.
One of the last stores in Arizona.
I know you were. I know, but they moved me out of Arizona and sent me to New Mexico to go run that because that was broken as shit. And we fixed it. But then when we liquidated, I stayed working until we went lights out when we sold the last Batman on Blu-ray.
You know, they tried to get us. They tried to tell us we were moving to Oklahoma. I was 7.5 months pregnant. And they said, you're moving to Oklahoma. And I said, the fuck we are.
Yeah.
I said, kiss my ass. I ain't moving until this baby comes out. Not a chance. And it's a good thing because Matt was laid off 2 days after she was born.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, it wasn't laid off.
It was the company went freaking bankrupt.
The company went bankrupt. And I stayed on and shut down all the Hollywood videos, movie galleries, and Game Crazies and liquidated them all. But, you know, we had like 200 managers out of jobs. And I think you guys fell before that in Arizona. And Randy Benson was a complete twat. And then I got 200 store leaders, no, 22 store leaders jobs at other companies and relocated them. And then I told Randy Benson to kiss my pucker. And I left.
Oh, I hated him. Oh, I hated him.
So what did that guy?
Yeah,
Man, go ahead.
I actually went and worked under Brian Flynn at GameStop for like 4 years.
I remember that. I remember that. Yeah. And then Erica Lopez, who we were such good friends with, I lost her as a friend because of Trump. And then Mike Turgeson called me on his birthday every birthday, and I lost him because of Trump and COVID. And Amir was a good friend, and Amir called me racist. And I'm like, I hired you, you black son of a bitch. What the fuck do you mean I'm racist? So, you know how those black people are. They're so ungrateful.
It's crazy how it always blows my mind how no matter how good a friend you are with somebody, that something as trivial as a debate on like your stance on political views or religion or anything like that, like ends friendships instead of like being able to have an intelligent conversation with somebody.
So stupid. I just told Amir, I said, Amir, I've been a conservative and a Republican my whole life, and you didn't know any different. I was hard on you as I always was, and when your mom died, everyone treated you like a sieve, and I didn't. I demanded excellence of you, and I demanded you to come into work and stop feeling sorry for yourself, because that's what your mom would have wanted. And I saved your job because I refused to allow you to fail. So I'm the same guy, dude. You know, and that's the way I always was. I was always that way. I know what I did right. I know what I did wrong. Cyrus Aponte calls into the show once in a while and says hi, and he's good. I haven't spoken to Dave Hillstrom in forever.
Oh, I forgot about him.
Yeah, Davey Hillstrom, and then who was the Fred Straps? He tried to like.
Oh, I remember him.
Yeah, he got a little grabby.
Oh, I remember Fred.
Yeah, Fred grabbed a woman who worked at Hollywood and took her home and did some things, and he got canned for that.
Yep, I remember that ordeal.
Yeah, and remember Doug?
I was there for that shit.
Well, who was 43rd and Bell? Doug what? Who was that douche plow? Doug, remember him?
I don't remember.
He was.
I don't know, but I remember
that was Cyrus.
You had fuck, who the hell took that store over?
43rd and Bell was Fred Straps.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah. Because I tried to give it to Mike Turgeson over on 7th, and Turgey didn't want it. He didn't want 43rd and Bell. And then Dave Hillstrom came over for a little bit and helped run it. Cyrus came in and helped run it. And then eventually we hired Fred Straps to go in there.
That's right.
And don't you remember, that's when Glenn came in, and I caught him at 1:30 in the morning. I get a call from the alarm company, and he has his truck backed up, and he's emptying 43rd and Bell full of game systems. And I'm like, I pull up, and I'm armed, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? It's like, oh, I'm running a requisition transfer. I'm like, after hours, huh? And he's
at
like,
1:30 in the morning, huh?
Yes. So I got the cops. I got all the cops. And I knew all the cops up there for Phoenix PD and Camelback and all that. So I got all those cops, and we drove over to his store, and I think it was Peoria, wherever it was, and went over to his house. Because I sat him down with the cops in there, and I said, and that's when we got that new LP guy that lived in Phoenix, and he showed up with me. And I sat him down, and I interrogated him, and I got him to admit everything. I stole a lollipop, and my mommy hit me. And he's just like, bleh. And I'm like, dude, once you've sat a crowd from jihadists, you're nothing, dude. I'm going to crack this guy in 3 minutes. And we drove over to his house, and his wife opens up with their kid, and she's looking at him like death rays, and he just starts pulling out boxes of shit he stole. I'm talking 50, 60.
Did he go to jail to press charges?
No, because the LP guy wouldn't press charges, and he brought everything back. But he had like 50 grand worth of shit.
Oh my God.
50 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's so wild.
Dude, I've got so many stories from, I don't know. Do you remember when like MVP sales were low, and I would get you guys on the phone and, what the fuck is wrong? I mean, I was horrible. I was a mean guy.
Marky, were you at the Christmas party that we threw at our apartment? Did Marky come to that?
I think I stopped by.
Okay. Were you there when they gave him the present? you remember the present?
I don't know.
No, I don't. I was not a fan there for that.
What happened? What was my present?
Gave you a blow up doll. Don't you remember that?
Yeah.
I have pictures of it too.
I
I
remember
said,
seeing the pictures of it.
I got so freaking drunk that night. That was a good night.
And I said to her, I said, oh, you got the one that looks just like Liv. I remember that. And then we gave a bike to somebody. Remember there was a guy who worked, an assistant manager who worked, and we all pitched in and bought him a bike.
I don't remember.
And
I could probably look at the pictures. And
he wound up
remember,
stealing
but
from us too.
Dude, the freaking managers. Half your
everybody-
managers in Colorado stole from you too.
So many people hated me. I'm surprised I didn't get shot. Like there's so like I think there was a hit list of people who wanted to kill me at the end. But you know what? Of those 32 stores, they were dead last north and south in the entire market, and we broke top 5, top 10 in the entire company within a year. So fuck it. Yeah.
Hey, my MVP sales were amazing.
Yeah. Well, you and Jake knew how to cheat. So
I just knew how to sell people disc repairs.
no, you didn't.
with an
You're so
MVP
full of
card.
shit. What you did is you would sell 2 fucking used games, and you would lump it in no matter what, and give them the discount, and be like, "Here's your free MVP card," which is the best way to sell. But also the disc buffing is, "Hey, I'll give you free disc buffs for life." I mean, that's something that we used to do in Colorado, and you know, it costs nothing. And that disc buffer was hit or miss. It ruined Dreamcast. It ruined Dreamcast games.
Yeah, it
totally
did.
fucking bricked them.
Yeah,
like we would put it out. We're like, all right, here you go. Here's your game. And they're like, oh my God, this is beautiful. Thank you. We're like, sure. Can I try it out? Yeah, get home and try it out. And then like fucking guaranteed 30 minutes before close, some jackholes walking in with his Dreamcast that we ruined because we ran it through the buff machine. God, I miss
those
those
fucking
days.
CD-ROMs, man.
That was a great job, dude. There was nothing better. I loved Game Crazy. That was a great job. You know?
Yeah.
How's the
I
family?
was sad to see it go for sure.
How's the family?
You get family's good, man. Numi and Jaeger just got done being sick. Jaeger had a touch of influenza A. Numi didn't have that, but she caught like the tail end of it because she got like super congested and like the doctors gave her some like antibiotics and like anti-allergy shit, and she's
doing better.
Yeah.
Good. That's all that matters.
Yep.
Well, give me your.
Kelly's
How's
stay at
Kelly?
home and she's having fun. And
Is Kelly staying home now, being full-time mom?
yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah,
That's
when we
what
moved, when I got the producer gig, they gave her the opportunity to stay home because I mean, dude, fucking daycare is absolutely ridiculous.
You're not telling me. Olivia does it for a living, and Olivia makes good money doing it.
Oh yeah, I know how
mean,
much.
if she were to go to work, like literally, her paycheck would be going just to daycare.
Yep, I know.
So it's like,
that's
what's
why,
the point?
yeah. Well, that's why Olivia was a stay-at-home, is because it just made sense. And then once the kids could start taking care of themselves, I'm like, all right, bitch, get out of the kitchen and go work.
Yeah, first grade is when I
told
went
her to
back
get
to
out
work.
there.
If Kelly ever feels like she needs to spike her coffee at 9 a.m., have her give me a call. I'll talk her down off the cliff because I've been there. I've had those days.
So, all right, man, give me your 30-second take on Trump, and then I got to go because nobody wants to hear us reminisce over the days. Your take on today with Ukraine? Give it to me.
Dude, honestly, I work in an office where I'm like the only Republican, and everybody's take on it is, I can't believe how disrespectful that Trump and Vance were towards President Zelenskyy and blah, 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 blah. And I'm sitting here like, dude, have you not heard this guy bitching and complaining for like the last 30 minutes? You can only take so much of that. And not just 30 minutes, like every single time you hear him talk, like he's just like, I need this, we need this. And it's like, dude, like, when are you going to like look inward and see that you're having an issue that you need to fix? And at some point you're going to have to figure out that like, you can't get help from other people to fix what your issue is.
Yeah,
so, I mean, I think Trump's doing a great job. I think the whole team, like not just Trump, is doing a great job. All I see is, in my eyes, I see positivity of, we're finding all of this wasteful spending, all this fucking, money laundering and shady shit that's been happening for however long it's been happening for. And I'm excited to see what the next, 4 years are going to bring. And, if we have to get into some fights, that's going to suck. But at the same time, I feel like our country has not been as strong as it could be. And it's like, I tell you this all the time. One of my favorite lines is the opening scene from The Newsroom. And that's literally how I've felt about our country for the last, more than a decade.
Yeah, most of that shit is fake, by the way. I did a show on that. It seems to be my number one thing I say now. Hey, I did a show on that one time. That one time in band camp. Marky, I love you, buddy. It's good to hear from you. And we'll talk soon again. And I'll make sure I sign your hat in non-invisible ink next time.
Dick. All right. Thanks.
All
Have a good night, guys.
Thanks, Marky.
All right, buddy.
Bye.
See you, Mark. All right, let's finish up this video. What's up, Liv?
I was going to ask you to holler at the children to close the door.
Why?
Because they're being noisy.
Hayden, Ethan, close the door. That wasn't hard.
I didn't want to yell in the mic.
Right. $10.80, Kevster. Matt, thank you for your workout advice. No pain today. That's what we're talking about, buddy. That's what it's all about. Proper form, going slow, reduce the weight. If you're in pain, it's because your form sucks and your weight's too high. Here it is.
Having spent a lifetime myself fighting against NATO and American wars, it's the Americans that are trying to stop the war, and Piers Morgan, Boris Johnson, and Keir Starmer who are trying to keep it going.
I don't want to keep it going.
A lot of Ukrainian,
I don't want to keep it going.
You've got a lot of Ukrainian blood on your hands. You have lied about this war from the beginning.
Actually, Vladimir.
Hey, Bubba, I'm all down for you calling sometime. Here's the deal. Like most people, when you've got something big to say, give us a call anytime you know that, brother. I'm all for it. Just tonight is we're end of the week. Probably, I don't know if any of this stuff intrigues you, but let's set something up, man, and get you on here, dude. You're a longtime listener. We love you to death. All right, here's the rest.
You have lied about the origin of this war, about the duration of this war, about the course of this war, and now having caused you and your war party the death of 1 million Ukrainians while claiming to love Ukrainians, you're now calling for British lives to be lost.
What a load of absolute bullshit.
That constitutes close to a war crime. You're going to regret it when very soon Zelenskyy is sitting in a beachfront villa somewhere.
Look at Jillian Michaels. Try not to crack up.
Counting his ill-gotten gains and all the secrets of the rampant corruption between the Democrats and the Zelenskyy regime begin to tumble out of...
Dude, why does it look like Benny's always face-fucking the camera with a duck face?
Because he is.
What is he... this is the one thing that drives me crazy is I know I do things. I talk too much, whatever. But he always looks like he's just trying to he looks like a gay prostitute who's in a two-way mirror and he knows you're watching in a wacky room, but he's trying to pretend that he doesn't and looking sexy with duck face. Just watch his face. It's so much like A-Rod, who is so uncomfortable to watch.
The cupboard. This war did not begin 3 years ago. You very well know that it began in 2014. You very well know that it began with a coup against the elected president of Ukraine, backed by Victoria Nuland and the administration at that time, and supported by you. You very well know that the criminalization of the Russian language, which followed hard on the heels of that coup, was the proximate reason for an uprising in the east of the country amongst Russian-speaking, ethnically Russian people. You very well know that Zelenskyy and his predecessor rained down shot and shell on the people of East Ukraine for 8 years before Putin intervened in 2022. And that 14,000 people, most of them women and children, were killed.
No, I will not give Benny a break. I can't. Listen, I don't dislike Benny. I'm probably a little jealous of Benny. His audience is fantastic, and he makes millions of dollars doing what I do, and he's good at it. I just, there's things about him that just drive me crazy. That's all. I don't think he has a hard question in his body. I don't think I think a lot of the things that he says is just watch Fox News and regurgitate, or watch a person like myself or other shows and just say what they say. I've never seen him really truly break anything, but I love that he gives back during Christmas. I love that he does nice things for people. He has a beautiful family, and I don't dislike Benny. I don't know. I don't take him seriously. That's all. And maybe it's just I'm a jealous dick. Maybe that's what it is. My wife's hotter, by the way.
That onslaught. You very well know that Zelensky was preparing for a final onslaught, a final solution. And while I'm on that subject, you're always telling us how much you love the Jews. You're supporting a regime which puts up statues to Nazi collaborators, to generals of the Galician division of the SS. You
Zelensky is Jewish, you know that, right? You know Zelensky's Jewish, right? Do you?
But that's like saying there's no racism in America because Obama.
So so you're calling the Jewish leader of Ukraine a Nazi? Is that your position?
That's like saying there's no racism in America because Obama was briefly the president of the country. The entire western part of Ukraine played a decisive role in the mass murder of Jews and Poles and others in the Second World War. And now they are heroizing the heroes of the SS. Why doesn't Donald Trump agree with you?
Because he's wrong.
Well, you know, you have been up his ass all of these 2 decades.
Really?
You've kissed his feet.
Really? And you know what's interesting?
Is he Scottish?
Yeah, you think? They turned off everyone else because everyone else was like, yep. Piers Morgan, I've never seen anyone like, I don't think Piers Morgan's a bad guy. I don't. I have a problem with the Brits. But what I don't understand is that when he's wrong, he can never just say, you know what? You know so much more about this than I do. And I'm going to default to your understanding. I can hear your passion. I don't agree with everything you're saying because there are things that I do understand about this, but you have a very strong and thorough opinion about this. And I'm not going to sit here and continue to say that what you're saying isn't accurate because it is. However, it's easy to go into the past and we can show lineage of every country with genocide and tyrannical rule. When is the line of demarcation stopping? And is it 2014? Is it 1840? Is it 2023 BC? Whatever it is, or 223 BC, whatever it is. When do we say, okay, these lines of delineation and sinew that tie these horrendous acts to the current regime or administration? We got to stop doing that. But in this case, these things like the Azov Battalion, the corruption, the trafficking, the drug use, the oligarchs, the Russian mafia, which has turned into Ukrainian mafia, are all very real. So the problem I have with Morgan is that instead of just saying, you know what, man, you make some good points and facilitate the conversation with your panel, really, is that what you think? Is that what you think about? Is that really? No, that's a bunch of bullshit. Oh, that's fucking bullshit. That's not an argument. That's you literally stalling for time until a thought comes in your head that can contradict what this guy says, and you can't. Now, this guy may look like the Invisible Man, or he may look like the guy off that stupid show we watched with what was that one? Not The Mentalist, but it was the other one. Come on, Liv. Where the list.
Terminal List.
No. Who looked like this in the Terminal List? The guy who he has the list. And come on. He
just said, come on. And
his daughter is, we think it's his daughter who's one of the agents. And the Blacklist.
Oh, that's, yep.
He looks like the guy in the Blacklist without hair. So anyway, let's finish the rest of this.
You've licked his boots. You've fawned upon
Look at
him.
Benny.
Really?
You have been his super fan. And now, on this fundamental question
See, this is the Benny I like. That's real. That's real. I want that Benny. I want Benny who can sit here and laugh and just be himself. Because when he's genuine, I really, listen, I'm a critical human being. I'm always critical of people. It's just who I am. I'm a negative guy sometimes. But this is the Benny I like. The one who is like, you know what? I'm just going to let this guy go because he is crushing it.
of our age is entirely wrong. Here's everybody watching knows you are Trump's biggest ass.
I like
kisser.
him. I like
Everybody
him.
watching
I like
knows
Donald
that.
Trump.
I know you like him.
I like
don't
him.
like him.
And on
You
many
like him.
things,
But
on many things,
on this, he's
I
wrong.
like him. And
the
on many things,
fundamental question.
let me finish.
The biggest question
yeah.
in politics in the world today, he's got it completely wrong.
No, it is little expected.
Ukraine was the most corrupt country.
What, more
in
corrupt
Europe
than Russia?
More
corrupt
yes,
than Russia?
It was designated by the economy.
Yeah, per capita, and yes.
Has the dude in the glasses at least blinked like once? Or is
See,
he just like zoned?
Listen, you know what Sigmund Freud said about the Scottish and the Irish?
What?
Is that they have no conscience. That essentially they're all psychopaths because they have no remorse for what they do. They don't have the ability to feel that. I don't necessarily agree with Freud. He did enough cocaine to kill a small horse, but there it is. Here it is.
What about Putin?
By the FT.
What about?
So I've got to say, this is what I don't understand. Bubba Ford, thanks, Bubba. $2.30. Appreciate you, buddy. Here's what I don't understand about this whole thing is just because I like Donald Trump doesn't mean I have to agree with him on everything. So I'm with Piers Morgan on that because there are times I've disagreed with Donald Trump. God knows. But Piers Morgan has been a staunch defender of Israel and then a week later says that it's genocide. And then Piers Morgan will flirt with that Ukraine and Zelensky are antagonizing the prolonged war, but then in the next minute, go ahead and say that they're all innocent and altruistic. He'll talk about events here in the United States with gun control and admonish guns and lambast their existence, but then go ahead and support people giving guns to Zelensky to stop oppression. It doesn't make sense. I don't think that Ukraine is more corrupt than Russia, just like I don't think Ukraine has the military the size of Russia, just like I don't think they have the GDP the size of Russia. But the level of corruption in Ukraine is significant. And the level of the oligarchs and the mafia is significant. And prostitution and sex trafficking, money laundering. These things are a very large part of Ukraine. And if you think they're not, then instead of sitting here and putting this on Trump, if I was that guy who makes a very good argument, I just simply said, well, then why aren't they in NATO? If Ukraine is so holier than fucking thou, like you say they are, Piers, why won't NATO accept them? That's it. End of the conversation. It's over. There is no argument after that because he can't say, well, I can say because I can go to the report from NATO. And I can actually go back to Warsaw and read what they said about Ukraine, which wasn't Ukraine. And I can go ahead and say that this corruption has been going on since the Iron Bloc and the Iron Curtain. And to sit here and say that NATO has a full report of all of the black marks on Ukraine and what they have done to discredit themselves from being a part of NATO. Because if you look at some of the other countries that got into NATO, you would have to look at it and say, what did Ukraine do? Well, this is all documented, and he's telling you. There's been a civil war. We were responsible for the regime change. We were responsible for the CIA. We were responsible for what happened there. This isn't the first time that the United States has interfered in European affairs. We did it with Turkey. A lot of people look at Turkey and say, well, Turkey is a borderline regime of a dictator with Erdogan. Well, I wonder how they got there. Because I don't know if everyone remembers, but we put Minuteman missiles inside, and this is what Kennedy traded with underground conversations between a very high prolific KGB agent and Bobby Kennedy, exchanged missiles in Cuba, and then 6 months later did a stand down on Minutemans in Turkey, leaving Turkey high and dry and susceptible to Afghanistan, Russia, and other interests that wanted to turn their country into a secondary state. The United States does these things and tends to not follow through with standing by these countries. And Ukraine is something that Bill Clinton negotiated with and promised protection when they, denuclearized their country and promised and swore protection. Well, we failed in that endeavor. So what did we do? Is instead we changed their entire country and their total government, which was corrupt, and replaced it with a Democratic leader, but the corruption was never cleaned up. And the atrocities that they did were never cleaned up. So Liv, let me ask you a question. If you have a hooker who has a VD and hepatitis and the permanent run of the sniffles and anal warts, and you put her in a frickin' $2,000 dress with a pair of diamonds, are the problems still there or they go away?
Yeah, they're still there. They're just masked.
That's it. So same thing. Go ahead.
If I were ever to go on Piers Morgan's show,
yeah,
I would make sure that I had a big red buzzer, and anytime he said something pissed me off,
you just buzz him.
Buzzer.
Do you not like Piers Morgan?
No.
I had a feeling.
No, I haven't liked him since America's Got Talent. You're freaking not American. Why are you judging American talent? Go on Britain's Got Talent. Go over there with the Brits. You are not American. No, I've never liked him. Just me. But.
Well, the thing that I will say is that the Democrats are completely, absolutely losing their mind over this Zelenskyy thing. Absolutely losing their mind. And this is going to, our democracy is in jeopardy. We'll never survive this. Ukraine is our link. Listen, if Ukraine is our link to democracy and the sovereignty of our country, then fuck it. We deserve to lose it. We deserve to lose it. Unbelievable. By the way, Lindsey Graham said that shit. You all heard it?
Mm-hmm.
What if I could show you? Well, never mind. I can't show you the picture. But I got a picture with him with Zelenskyy after he said those things. So Lindsey Graham's doing what Lindsey Graham always does, which is play both sides. Folks, our goal was 500. We're at 387.34. I'm really hoping we can hit it. It's been a big night. It's been a long night. It's been a good night. And I wanted to show you something. This guy is a troll who wanted to go ahead and have his voice be heard as a black man. And I will tell you, this is probably one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life. Donation, $40, Steve Cornett. I'll buy my own hat, LOL. I'll give you a hat, dude. It's not that big of a deal. Jeez Louise.
I like the Steven guy.
No, Steve's funny. Here's the video. Watch this. Liv,
I'm watching.
This one's good.
I have gender skin color dysphoria. Yep. I am a white lesbian trapped in a black man's body. I'm 6 months pregnant and I love my husband, but the LGBTQ community won't accept me. And they tell me you could be what you want to be. And also, since I'm a white lesbian, I'm also a white supremacist and I hate black people.
That's the best thing. That is awesome. He needs to be on our show. That was great.
You gotta love that.
Oh wow, that was great.
So we're gonna do something we haven't done in a while. You know what? I think we have bled the news dry like a turnip. And we've got 33 minutes. It's a good time. We're opening up to questions. So Bobby says, if Trump was still a Democrat, would all of this still be happening? Yes. Because in a lot of ways, Trump still is a Democrat. He's a blue-collar Democrat. He's a Reagan Democrat. His stance on abortion is fairly soft. His stance on the LGBTQ is fairly moderate. He's socially fairly liberal, and it's hard to call him a fiscal conservative considering how much he spent. Not all his fault, and because of COVID, for sure. But Trump is not a far-right conservative. He's fairly to the right when it comes to fiscal spending, at least he says. From a defense standpoint, he is a nationalist. He doesn't have a problem thumping the hammer, but he's a nationalist. And from socially, he's liberal, very liberal. So really, he is what an old Democrat was, and they still hate him. We should bring back red versus blue. It's not a question. It's a statement. Amy, you think being here for 4 years, you know what a question is versus a statement.
Oh my God.
So I'm answering questions. I'm not answering statements. I'll bring back red and blue when we have people who participate. How about that? We never got people to participate. So, there's a lot of things we should do. Will I get another puppy for Ash, a play friend? Liv, why don't you answer that one?
Absolutely freaking not.
No.
Not a chance in hell.
We got the perfect cat, the perfect lizard, the perfect daughter, the perfect son, the perfect dog, and she has the perfect
daughter.
She has the perfect
son.
husband. We're good.
You got the perfect wife.
Anyway, I'll stay with what I said. We're good. We're done. We're not having any more babies.
That factory's closed.
We're good. But as far as red and blue, sure. And I thought about. It seems like nobody misses the Daily Show, the 15-minute show, 25-minute show. Nobody misses that. So I'm good with that. The lives are where it's at. I have fully embraced the lives, and I've thought about adding a morning show. And if Olivia can't find something for daycare, we're going to have to, because we've got to supplement that income somehow. So
I don't know if morning show can supplement that income, but
sure it can. Sure it can. Sure it can. We just have to do it right. But I don't think we're going to need it. So things are good. How did you get involved with podcasting? I missed my first year of this. Okay. So I'll tell NerdFap and then you tell this.
Okay.
So, Bobby, the one thing you don't know about me is I am a dilettante. And by the definition of somebody who does everything fairly well, but nothing great. And whether it's, and there are some things I do great, but really what it comes down to is being a marksman. I'm really, really freaking good. And with any weapon. Hockey, one hell of a shot. I was pretty good with my hands, throwing hands on the ice, but my stopping capability was horrendous. And getting going, I was too slow. But I had a wicked shot from blue line or wrist shot. I could shoot. So throughout my entire life, if I don't know how to do something, this comes back to my cousin, is we would have a pool in my backyard and they would come down from Bakersfield and my dad would always try to make us compete. And Randy Jr. was an athlete. He was a go-kart junior champion. I mean, the guy, smart kid, and he was more athletic than I ever would be. And my dad would always try to have me outdo him. Oh, do a flip off the backboard, Matt. And all this. And it just bothered me, and I hated it because I wasn't a compete type guy at that age. So there were times that he would come and go, oh, well, I rebuilt a lawnmower motor, or I rebuilt my go-kart motor. And so I started competing in different ways. I'm like, well, I want to do it. So I went and got a book on VW bugs and started working on my dad's VW engine and taking it apart. And I've never received such a beating in my life. But I did. And the funny thing is that even though I made some mistakes, I got it running. My dad kicked my butt up and down the street. But ever since then, I've always been that person. And Olivia will tell you, my buddy Brad, they wanted to do some websites for us, and I didn't know HTML, and I watched him for 3 hours, and I learned how to do HTML. I just watched him, and I memorized it. So I always had a gift that I unlocked, and Intel was the same way. It came natural to me. You know, I would read a 350-page report, and I could pull the lines and, what page it was on, what paragraph it on, what the context was, what it meant, without even doing sub-research and stuff. So I've always been able to not be great at things, but really good at whatever I tried to do. Another example, axe throwing. Never thrown an axe in my life. And went with Comcast and my entire leadership team and threw like 17 bullseyes in a row. Skeet shooting. Been firing my whole life. Never really done any trap or skeet shooting. And Olivia will tell you I was successful. I just am good at that. So when it came to working at Apple, Olivia and myself, I really got into, video games again and everything else and computers. And I always fancied myself as somebody who could do a podcast. So we started a podcast and we called it NerdFap. Now, this was a podcast that was going around during X-Play and G4 TV and Chris Hardwick, and it grew fast. And when I say fast, we had 150,000 listeners in 3 months.
Gin Blossoms followed us.
Gin Blossoms followed us.
I got an invite to E3 in LA.
E3 in LA and Star Wars convention show. I don't remember what it's called, but it only happens once a year. It's a huge Star Wars convention we got invited to. Olivia got invited by Infinity Games. We had the writer of Fight Club follow us. The original anchor and writer of Green Lantern and Lobo, and like our show crushed, and it did really, really well. But it was a conflict of interest, and when we hit about 300,000 viewers, we were about ready to get monetized by iTunes. Now, they didn't monetize anybody but the top podcasts, and that put a red flag. It was linked to my account, and I signed a non-disclosure agreement that I wouldn't take any advertising dollars from Apple because it's a conflict because I worked there. And I was a stockholder, and a considerable stockholder. I mean, during the times when it was 726 shares, we had 1,000 shares. I mean, Olivia and I were independently wealthy working for Apple. We did very well. And they came to me and said, you have this podcast. We love that you're doing it, and it's funny, and it grew. We had like 26 authors. We had like 7, 8 hosts, and it just blew up. And they said, hey, you've got to either quit Apple or quit the podcast. Now, if I would have known all this now, I would have quit Apple, and I guarantee you we would have it would be up there with Kotaku and Twitch, and it would probably be one of the biggest gaming podcasts on the planet. I believe that. It was that good, and we had that much interaction. And we were just scratching the surface to do video. It was only audio. But we were starting to stream video and getting way ahead of this time. You couldn't do this stuff in 2015 and 16. No way. You had like Stitch and I don't even know what they're called. Just a couple of apps that would allow you to hold up a phone and record everybody, but it was shit and the audio sucked. This is unbelievable where we've come. The fact that Olivia and I can stream in 4K and it looks like a newscast is ridiculous. But somebody banned Kate. Please.
Already done, I think.
Thank you. So, needless to say, Marky knows how big it was.
He said he still has his polo.
Yeah, and he says would definitely be better than IGN. And Marky was growing, it was big, it was fun, and it was a very entertaining show. And I still have all the recordings if you guys want to hear them. There's 20.
They're freaking funny.
They're great episodes. It was just a great podcast.
Listen to the one on Mad Max. Me go off on Mad Max.
Very funny. We were all friends, and Ian was just a fucking great character. Ian was amazing, very smart. Yeah, Ryan Frost was kind of the guy we kicked around. I was kind of the grumpy one, and Olivia and I always fought. So, but it was great. So that's when I had to give that up. I saved some of the equipment, and COVID happened. Olivia will tell you what happened from there. Go ahead, Liv.
Okay, well, to go on the NerdFap side, I thought this was kind of funny. About a year ago, I was in the local grocery store, and the dude who was bagging and the dude who was the cashier, they were talking about movies or something. So I piped in with a question. Don't even remember what they were talking about. And we kind of got in a bit of a conversation when they were ringing up my groceries. And he's like, how do you know so much about stuff? I was like, well, my husband and I used to run a podcast on video games and movies. He goes, oh, really? What was it called? And I'm like, Nerdfap. And he goes, no way. My mom listened to that. She told me to listen. He's like, I never thought I'd meet a celebrity in my life. And I'm like, a celebrity? Holy cow. But anyway, I thought that was funny considering that it was 8 years after the fact. So anyway, so as far as don't unfriend me, it was COVID, and it was a few weeks before the 2020 election. Our godparents of our children were very, very close family friends from when we were in Colorado, and very close family friends. And the wife was a very outspoken, very headstrong, women first, all about women need to be strong and independent, blah, blah, blah. And she was always telling me, you need to have more of a voice and you need to have more of this and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, whatever. She works for probably the largest coffee company in the country, possibly even the world.
Don't go into more specifics.
But anyway,
it's too much.
So
you can narrow it down from there.
Yeah.
Because then they know where we live and they just don't.
So she is a very, very far left liberal. And she made some comments when President Trump got COVID. Some really bad comments on Facebook.
Someone ban Mary Oswald, please. And Liv, we got to move it along.
And yeah, the only thing I said was, I thought you had a little more tact than this. And she defriended me, blocked me, and completely cut us out of her life because I stood up to her. And I came down the stairs like crying and freaking pissed and yelling. And I told Matt, and he just went live on Facebook and just did like a 30-minute rant on it. And all his friends were like, oh my gosh, you're really good at this. You should try it. So from there, it just was try. And then here we are. So
like when we first started, it was black and white. Shitty mic, shitty sound, horrible picture. I mean, it was crap. And you got to remember, everything I knew about podcasting, it wasn't that way anymore. Now you had automatic podcasting, hosting, and, video streaming. So I had a lot to learn. But some days those shows were better than the ones we do now because it was honest and it was raw. And I wasn't trying to gain followers, and I didn't really care about Facebook and what to do and what not to do. But it blew up. I mean, we just hit 230,000 this morning, and now we're at 230,802. I mean, this show is growing now. Now, I mean, it's taking the fuck off.
Because Zuckerberg took off restrictions.
Yeah, but, to have, 375 people on is dare I say, not too bad. But so the first year, it was just playing around and it was engaging and trying to, build a community. And we did some good things. And, I bought a new camera and I would slowly upgrade the backdrop. And then we came up with the name Don't Unfriend Me because of those friends who took us off. And then we went viral. Bye, sweetie. We went viral. We had a post that saw like 20 million followers, but there were nights where we had 3 or 4 people on. And, you look at Liberty Warrior Nation and some of those guys who do shows and they've got like 3. And I feel for those guys. I really do. It is so hard. For every show you see that's successful, there's 1,000 shows that completely fucking fail. And I mean fail. So when people come on, they go, oh, you're a failure. Nobody watches your show. I'm like, bro, we are fucking top 2% on Facebook. And it doesn't feel that way, but this is how hard it is to grow. And after 4 years, it's happened. Now, I mean, our first year, we lost like $23,000. Second year, I think we lost 37. The year after that, I think we just a few thousand. And then year 4 last year, we showed a profit for the first time. I think it was a little under 50,000. And this year, we're doing well, and we're getting where we need to be. It takes a lot of work and a lot of dedication. I put a shit ton of hours into this, but everything has a purpose. Everything, is self-taught. I didn't go to school for this. I didn't go to school for audio. I didn't go to school for video. I didn't go to school for graphic design. I didn't go to school for marketing. I'm a self-made person. I've been a vice president for 3 different companies, Fortune 15s. Deborah Boggs says 1776. God bless America. Yes, Deborah.
First time donator.
Thank you. God bless you for I love the 1776. Yes, ma'am. God bless America.
Oh, I didn't even get that when I saw it.
That's right.
That's funny.
So that's pretty much it. I've just I've always enjoyed it. And leaving the corporate world is I just got tired of white men being hated in the corporate world, and I just got sick of it. So I left. I couldn't stand it anymore. So I got out of it. But now the show is going on 4 years. We just had our 4-year anniversary, and you know, it's in September, August, and you know, we're going to be fine. We're doing well, and it's because of your donations. I mean, I know you guys go, oh well, $500, that's a lot. Well, it costs a lot to stream for 3 hours. It's not cheap. And then, you know, we got to upgrade the show. We got to pay for marketing. We got to go ahead and do, you know, get all the podcasts ready. We got to get the show ready. We got to bring in Leroy, bring in Amy. Got to make sure that all the cells are set up, all the shows written.
And this is his full-time job.
Yeah, and I got to write on 9 different pages and 9 shows, and I got to put up memes, and then I have articles that I write for the Dumb News. So it's busy. But my whole point is that if you stick to it and you love it and you try hard, you'll be successful. So there we go. Questions. I'm going to get to them.
Yeah, go to Q. There's a few when you're going
doing
through
it
that,
right now.
so.
I'm just going to start from the top. Have any other world leaders ever been kicked out of the White House? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And it's not the first time. I know Thomas Jefferson or Alexander Hamilton kicked people out often. I know Ronald Reagan did it. I know Donald Trump's done it. I know Biden did it. It's been done before. Mello says, didn't Zelenskyy say a few weeks ago that they haven't gotten all the money? Can the U.S. show the books as to where the Ukraine funding was released and the real total? I think this would be a two-way street reveal. I know Ukraine is corrupt with the Biden admin. Here's the thing is that here's my point with this whole thing. And Mel, this kind of is going to answer your question. Why would President Trump do this in private? Every single person says he should have done it in private, like he did with the first phone call with Zelenskyy where they impeached him.
Exactly.
Why the fuck would he ever want to do it in private again? I would do it in front of all the cameras, and I would never do any public policy behind closed doors ever again. Because you know what? I believe Donald Trump is too smart to get caught now. And he wanted to have this conversation, and he did it in person for a reason. And if it went this way, he was prepared for it. And he did exactly what he should to protect himself. Because can you imagine Zelenskyy comes out, flies back to Ukraine, and goes, Donald Trump threatened me. J.D. Vance, they bullied me. They blackmailed me into mineral rights. Can you imagine? Because that's what this fucking slimy shitbag would do. So good for Donald Trump. But asking Ukraine to find corruption is like asking the Senate and in Congress to balance the budget. They're the problem. Ukraine's the problem. It won't happen. Is Ukraine threatening war with the U.S.? No, because that's the most ridiculous fucking notion in the world, right? That would be like Rhode Island deciding to go to war with the United States. Ukraine, no, they don't have the capability. They don't have the manpower. They don't even have a fucking navy. There's no way that Ukraine could go to war. So no, they're not threatening. He's kissing ass right now. Do you think Zelenskyy will go down to Mar-a-Lago to speak with President Trump? I absolutely believe that he will say something to Donald Trump before leaving and will continue to try to appease and make amends. But he's going to have to check himself, and he's going to have to realize that this is no longer about bravado, and his egotism needs to step aside. He lost. He got his ass kicked. The only reason he's in this war is because of the United States and other countries who've been funding his proxy. Scott says, do you believe the escalation of this war mainly stemmed? Oh, yeah, we answered that. Could it be a cultural difference, or is Z just an ass? Z is just an ass. Matt, can I rent a movie and 2 games from you? No. I worked from video update, was fired, fun times. I would refuse to charge late charges. Oh, okay. Which one did you work for? You're for Hollywood? Or if Trump was still a Democrat and did that, we should bring back... Nope. Matthew, will you get into the nope? How did you get... Okay. Matt, do you think this meeting with Zelensky sealed the deal for no more aid due to his audacity? No. We've made commitments. So we've put it in the budget. So, no. I believe we still give him aid. I think it's in the United States' best interest to make sure Russia comes to the table, and I still think the mineral rights deal can happen. I do believe that the world will follow, because here's the thing. Who wants to side with Ukraine? What benefit? What does Ukraine give to anybody? Nothing. They're not going to side. They're certainly not going to go ahead and side with Russia, but they're just not going to side with Ukraine. They're going to give him troops. They're going to give him money. But that's because the United States does. If the United States pulls the plug, everybody else will stop doing it too, because nobody fucking cares. You want to know why? Kenya, Congo, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Egypt, the Sudan, Jordan. Those countries, no countries got involved. Look at the Middle East. Who got involved in OIF and OEF? It's like 7 countries that helped us. Nobody's going to get involved. They don't want to get involved. The only fucking country that gets involved is the United States. And when they do, then you see Britain, and you see Germany, then you see Canada, then you see, they follow suit. Matt, can you see the stars lined up tonight? If
it's clear enough.
If they were lined up, I wouldn't be able to see them. Oh, you mean lined up horizontally? Or
the planets are supposed to be in line.
I'm joking. Yes. I don't know. Let's go find out. Kids! With all the corruption being exposed in the swamp, do you think we'll ever see anyone get prosecuted? No. Go see if all the planets are aligned. Back patio is probably best. Do I think people will be prosecuted? No.
They are? You can see them?
No. Okay. Hayden.
Go see.
Hayden. Go see.
I want to see your new shoes.
So,
they are cute.
do I think... guys, nobody gets prosecuted. This is Washington, D.C. The people in the jail aren't going to hold themselves accountable. These people are corrupt. And it's not just Democrats, it's Republicans too. No. They've known who's been on the flight logs for how long. They can't let that shit out. They're just going to keep stringing us along. They'll never get it released. You don't think other presidents have wanted to release the John F. Kennedy assassination files? You don't think that they wanted to go ahead and release things on Epstein before? No. The U.S. government can't be transparent because its entire processes has to be in secret. If you don't believe in the institutions, those institutions will fall. This happened to the Greeks, it happened to the Romans, it happened to the Khans, it happened to the Mings. It happens to everybody. If you fail to believe in the institutions that govern you, then you no longer have a government. If they show their level of corruption, if they show you what they've really been doing with the money, if they show you that they're covering for people, if they show you the slush funds accounts of millions of dollars protecting politicians from inappropriate sexual relationships or DUIs or literally beating the shit out of one of their mistresses, well, then you lose faith in the institution of government. Kennedy changed so many things because they allowed too many people beyond the looking glass. They had too many questions without answers, and it had people start asking, and the government did not know how to control this. Now, people expect their government to be corrupt. There is no more shock. Everything we hear is, it's not, hold on, everything we hear isn't, oh my God, I can't believe the fucking government did this to us. I can't believe they did it. No, we the people. No, it's, which party are they in? Oh, they're Republicans? Oh, I'm going to take the opposite side. Do you know how many times people do that? They're like, well, is this person Republican or Democrat? Leroy did it the other night. I was talking about a Republican, and he goes, well, he's a liberal. And I'm like, actually, he's a Republican. And he's like, oh, well, I can kind of see his point. I'm like, what the fuck? You are the most non-fence writing guy, party loyalist I've ever seen, but he even does it. Well, I do it. But that's what comes out. Something atrocious happens, and we make excuses. You guys get upset when I hold Donald Trump accountable for anything. So why should we only hold one party accountable? Why should we only have expectations for our side? And those expectations are positive intent. But for the other side, it's always negative no matter what they do. No idea is good. Jessica Tarloff, you say anything positive about her, people get pissed. She's a fucking liberal, man. Blah, blah, blah. I just don't do that shit. No, nothing will be done. Nothing will. We're never. Justice is not going to be served because there is nobody serving justice. We are the streets of Rome. We are the corrupt Senate in Greece. We are Julius Caesar before the frickin' daggers come out from behind the curtain. We are Cyprus. We are Euclipidus. We're done. There is no more justice. There is no more law. There is no more order. They have an elite class and everyone else. And if you can't see that, I'm not trying to give you doom and gloom. I'm just trying to be honest with you. It's the truth. Because you know it's the truth. How the fuck can you get Jeffrey Epstein hung? How did he hang himself? Give me a break. How can we see Joe Biden have classified documents and nobody fucking cares because he's the ruling party? How can we go ahead and send a SWAT team and Donald Trump and go through Melania's fucking underwear drawer, steal his passport, steal his ID? Look at what happened to the J6ers. And even though I agree, a lot of them deserve to be in jail, they served their time. And some of them, most of them, didn't need to be in jail. Look at the election. I told you the election wasn't stolen, but I told you they fucking hijacked it and it was unconstitutional. And I wound up being right, by the way. Nobody has ever apologized to me. All those people that gave me shit for 4 years, not one person came back and said, you know what, Matt, we saw the final numbers. We saw the 9 million swing in votes like you predicted. Oh, we're sorry. Because I thought we couldn't win an election ever again. No, Mary Oswald, nobody wants to have a fucking conversation with you in Messenger.
Amy said, before you say anything, I already got him.
Matt, do you think the Mercy in Ukraine should get the hell out while they can? The Mercs, they're conscripts. They're conscripts. They have a contract. D-Bags, Matt, do you think Putin may actually want peace? No. Putin wants what all Russian leaders want and all dictators want: more power, more money, and more territory. Putin wants to be seen as the victim. That's it. Shush! What do you think Putin's response will be to Zelenskyy and Trump's interview? I think Putin will play it aloof. I think he will say something like, Donald Trump is a smart president. He will, as a KGB man, he will flatter Donald Trump. Donald Trump loves it. He fucking loves flattery. Hey, Matt, I just read that Zelenskyy could be in danger once he returns to Ukraine. I said that about 2 hours ago. Do you think his life is on? Yes. If this is true, they will blame Trump for anything bad that happens to Z. Maybe, but it doesn't matter because inherently...
As long as it doesn't happen on U.S. soil.
Yeah.
If it happens in Ukraine, how are they going to blame Trump?
Yeah, if I was Russia, I would knock off Zelenskyy on U.S. soil and watch that shit show take place. Can you imagine what that would fucking do? Can you imagine what would happen if that took place? Ooh. You want to talk about a world war?
If Russia did it?
Yeah, Russia fucking killed Zelenskyy, but tried to place it on somebody else. You know what I'm saying? It's just fucking head games. It comes down to this. Zelenskyy is most assuredly in danger. He fucked up tonight. Billions of dollars was lost. Guaranteed security for his country was lost. And he did it because he could not shut his mouth. I don't care what Trump said. I don't care what J.D. Vance said. Zelenskyy couldn't shut his mouth. But I've said that he is either going to be forcibly removed or there could be a coup in Ukraine. Because what you're hearing is Vladimir Putin doesn't want to work with Zelenskyy. Now, Donald Trump and the United States don't want to work with Zelenskyy. So who's going to negotiate the peace deal? So Ukraine may not have a choice because even Donald Trump said at the end, I don't think this can work. They need to send us somebody who they can. He told the Ukrainian people to replace Zelenskyy in not so many words. Paraphrasing. You know that's not what he said, but you get my point. That's the message. I don't know if we can work with this guy. From Rumble, Thomas Austin. Is this possible, this White House debacle, get out to the citizens of Ukraine and will it have ground effect in the people? Well, it's state-controlled media. So whatever Ukraine releases has to be approved by the Ukrainian government. So that's one thing, but I'm sure it gets out there. People have phones. People are in Poland. People have relatives. You can't keep this free. This isn't China. This is not Iran. It's not an embargo and blacked out. Ukraine doesn't have complete suppression of information in their country. It is suppressed and it is state-run media, but they'll get word. Like I said, relatives, there's a million of them in fucking Poland right now. So they'll know. But some people say Zelensky's popular, some say he's not popular. But why? What happened to the door?
I just said close the office door a little bit and stop yelling. And
yeah, there's some polls that show him at 6%. Anyway, 3 minutes till 9. It's been a fun night.
There's one more question off Rumble.
I don't think we're going to hit gold tonight because
Would the meeting in London next week be a better place? I don't know.
I don't think let me put this as squarely as I can. Putin will not make concessions. And Zelensky will not make concessions. So you could have it at fucking Disneyland. It doesn't matter. Until they're willing to have concessions, this is a moot point. It's a waste of time. It's okay, Dawn. Don't ever say you're sorry for asking a question. I just wanted to let you know I talked about it before. Janice Rennie.
We've already gotten her.
I know, but why'd you ban her?
I didn't ban her. No one did.
What do you mean you got to her?
No, everyone has already said, they've already answered.
Oh, I want to say something. What the fuck? Stop watching Fox News. I don't watch Fox News. I put Fox News on because, your channels won't show what Donald Trump says. The election fraud has been disproved by every court. I didn't say there was election fraud. Did I even mention the word fraud? I said it that people said there was election fraud. I didn't say there was election fraud. I've never used the word election fraud in my life. There is election fraud in every single election, and if you don't know that, it's because you're too fucking stupid to realize it. But there is election fraud, but not enough to overturn an election. And before you ask me what are my credentials, well, I don't know. I predict the last 3 elections with a 99.8% accuracy. I've worked on 3 national campaigns and 2 state campaigns, so I think I know a little bit about it. But there is election fraud. But it's not big enough to matter. And Democrats do it with redlining, and they do it with gerrymandering, and so do Republicans, and everyone tries to get the advantage. But I didn't say there was election fraud. I said it was not a constitutional election. That's what happens when you send out 50 million fucking ballots. You can't solicit ballots. It's unconstitutional to every state constitution and federal law. So when you go ahead and say, well, people can't go to the DMV because there's a 6-month wait during COVID, so what do we do? Well, we might as well just go ahead and send out ballots to people who are unregistered for anyone who's moved in the state or relocated from the state, or anyone who has gotten an ID before that in the last 6 months. We're going to go ahead and send them a ballot. And that's what took place. And that's where, the 9 million vote swing went to? I mean, you just think that all of a sudden 5 million Democrats stopped voting because Hitler was going to be in office? No, we know what happened. It's not a stolen election. It was completely constitutional for them to do so because they did it under judicial emergency powers. So, Janice, you're way out of your league, sweetie. So just you stop watching CNN. And anyone that says stop watching Fox is because you watch MSNBC and CNN. And what you don't do is actually look at it from a very, very granular level that it's okay to watch the news, but it's always important to question whatever's said. What's up?
Would the meeting in London with European leaders next week be a better place for a HIT? I don't know if I want to say that right there.
What?
I think they're talking about...
Just please read it, whatever it says. You can say whatever you want on this show.
Would the meeting in London with European leaders next week be a better place for a hit? I'm thinking they're talking about Zelensky.
Let me explain something. I don't believe anyone's going to target Zelensky for an assassination attempt. If Russia wanted Zelensky dead, there's a lot of easier ways to do it. And they have the weaponry to do so, very simply. I believe what they want is that in the court of public opinion, Trump is discrediting Zelensky by Zelensky's and exposing him on the world stage. Once again, I showed you conversations in 2014 that Joe Biden had conflicts with Zelensky. So did Obama. And then also most recently in 2021 to 2025, Biden had conflict with Zelensky on multiple occasions where he basically had to put Zelensky in his place. Donald Trump had conflict with Zelensky when he rolled over based on the phone call. These type of things happen. This is why the impeachment took place of Donald Trump, was because of the phone call with Zelensky. This isn't the first time that people have found Zelensky to be arrogant, obnoxious, demanding, and entitled. We're just getting to see it on the world stage for the first time. Ukraine parliament calling for Zelensky to be impeached.
I'm looking at it right now.
I said that as well. I don't know if that's true or not. Is that breaking news after the White House meeting? I want to confirm that.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything right now.
Because
so.
you wouldn't call, if Parliament was there, you wouldn't call him for him to be impeached, because there is a very difference between our government and them. And the word impeach does not necessarily go, I believe that it's called censured with Parliament. I'll have to look up my Magna Carta. But I don't even think it's called a parliament in Ukraine. Hold on. I'll find out some information for you. This is how I always know when somebody, not you, but when people are spreading bullshit, is they don't know the form of government Ukraine is, and you can always tell by how they describe it.
Tom Shin said, Matt, thank you for answering my question. Your thoughts and mine are about the same.
Okay, good. That's important. Nice to know that Tom and I are aligned. It's a semi-presidential republic. Yeah, it's a Verkhovna Rada. Verkhovna Rada. It has a parliament, but the country operates under a mixed system where there's a president and prime minister. Government structure. The parliament is legislative. Head of government is PM, and then president is currently Volodymyr Zelenskyy. Don Bradley, happy Friday. Thank you, Don. So let's find out. I haven't heard anything. I think it's very... I'm not seeing anything. Like I said, I would not be surprised if they call for his resignation. I think the impeachment process for the president is different. I don't think Parliament has jurisdiction over that. I don't, but I would have to check out. Now, they could draw up articles of impeachment if they truly are a presidential republic. Then yes, they could. But I would have to look at Ukraine's constitution. I'm going to find out for you. Let's see. All right, here it is. Article 111. Multi-step process initiation. Process begins. President suspected of committing treason or another crime. Majority. See, I knew it. I knew it wasn't with the House. The Verkhovna Rada has to vote 226 out of 450. The Verkhovna Rada is similar to the House here, and their parliament is closer to Senate. Does that make sense? It's reversed. So it starts in the Verkhovna Rada, which is a 226 out of 450 votes. So you need to have a 1+1 majority. Special Temporary Investigation Commission is formed. So it's not a special investigator, it's a commission, which would include MPs from the Rada, prosecutors and experts. Then there would be a parliamentary approval process. It requires a 300 out of 450 to move forward. So that's a much bigger lift. So a 226 is a simple +1 majority, but then it sounds like they have to have a 3/4 majority. No, a 2/3 majority is 300 out of 450. Then there's the Constitutional Court of Ukraine would file impeachments according to the Constitution. The Supreme Court confirm that the president is guilty, so that's different. It's not the Senate that would do it. It'd be the courts, which is the way it should be here, but they don't do it that way. Because the president selects our Supreme Court very differently than they do. So therefore, there would be conflict of interest for them to vote for his guilt. So the Senate does it. If both courts confirm the charges in the Constitutional Court and the Supreme Court, Parliament must vote again. And then the 3/4, holy shit, then it moves to a 3/4, 338 out of 450. That is a lot of fucking work to remove somebody. That is a lot. So if they're calling for impeachment proceedings, they don't need to call for it. They simply do it, but it's going to take, there's going to be, like the war is probably going to be over before then. Can they impeach Zelenskyy under martial law? No, because the only person who can call martial law is the president. So under a presidential republic, he would call martial law. Now, the military can seize power, but that's not martial law. That's a coup d'etat. So if they perform a coup d'etat and the military seizes power which is how it's going to be done. If anybody's going to remove Zelenskyy, it's not going to be an impeachment. It'll be a military coup. This is fucking Russia/Europe. They They don't do it that way. They overthrow the government. So is this worthy of that? No, but I think what you're going to see is extreme political pressure for him to resign. That's what I see. Okay? 4:55:10. Are we going to call it, Mom?
Let me check one more time.
Okay. You go check one more time. I think we're done. I've looked. We are done. All right, folks. Now, wait, there was one question that we had. Bobby Richardson. I miss Yenny. Oh, Bobby, 103. You are a godsend. Hey, I saw a question about a business proposition or something. Hold on. Was it Steve or Chuck? It was Chuck. Chuck, are you still on?
I didn't see that.
Chuck Peterson?
I did not see that one.
Here it is. Sorry, Chuck. Chuck says, Matt, I have a business proposition for your show. A night when I match all donations. We communicate it in advance. You create a worthy show. I match total donations. What do you think? Like, did you need a back rub and a cuddle too? I just need to make sure I know. Chuck, that would be amazing. I would be an idiot to turn that down.
He said yes.
Yeah, and I will most assuredly give you a back rub, and we can listen to some Barry Manilow and with some baby oil. Yeah, dude, that's incredible. You've been extremely generous anyway. Chuck, you're the guy that's given us like $500 donations. Am I not mistaken? Because we have your name up in lights on the closing part of the show. Because I think you've given us quite a few. I don't know if I've seen any recently, which is fine, and I don't care because I think you've done more than enough. But yeah, if you wanted to do something like that, that would change our lives. You know what I mean? Because I think people would do their best to make it. Here's what we'll do, Chuck. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to donate $100,000 to myself, and you go ahead and match that, and we'll call it good. Listen, that would be an incredible thing. And anytime you want to do that, you just let me know. And damn, my arms are starting to look good. Sorry, I work hard.
I told the kids to open the door. I don't know why they shut
Chuck,
it all the way.
I know you gave us 15 because it was three $500 spots. Mm-hmm. I remember. I remember. But we would love that. And how about this? If you email Olivia at thedumbshow.com, you guys can work out some details. And
he's asking if he should call.
If what?
If he should call.
Call?
Yeah, he said, shall I call?
You can, if you want to. You can call, or we can talk about it live, in person, off air, or however you want, or just email Olivia, and then we can get together and have a call. And I think it'd be great. And you know what would be awesome is maybe we do it the night that all four of us are together: Olivia, me, Leroy, and Amy. That'd be kind of cool.
13th, yeah.
Yeah.
Or no, the 12th. That's the 12th.
Yeah, it'd be amazing. So I think we can make a big night of it, make something cool. I still asking me about the concert. Like, we need to get some interest if who would show and come to Virginia for a concert, and have the Dumb Nation get together and do like an annual thing. And I think we could probably get quite a few people to come. So we're gonna have to play that by ear. All right, I think that's Chuck. Hey, Chuck.
Hey, Matt.
Hey,
Olivia, how are you guys?
Hi, Chuck.
Good, brother. Where are you at in 805, man?
I'm in Moore Park. I'm in your old stomping grounds.
Holy shit, that's right. We've talked about that. Moore Park. That's right. I did the basketball team. We talked about that. Newberry Park.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, man. So what's the dealio, man? First of all, how have you been? How's life? What's new and all that stuff?
I've been okay. Life is, a bowl full of cherries that have pits.
Yeah, it is.
But you go ahead.
No, that was it, man. I was agreeing with you. Life throws. Every time it starts to get good, just hang on because something's coming around the corner, right?
Yeah. I'm not going to try to get too heavy here, but you're right. I donated continuously on the show. When you did it back monthly, where your goals were based on a month, and you made this change now to daily. And I'm really, really impressed with how that has worked for the show.
Yeah, it really has, and I thank you for that, because we felt we felt bad because it would show, you know, a number of 2,000, and we felt people felt burdened to give super large amounts, and we're like, you know what, let's just do it nightly. People can give small incremental amounts, and it's wound up being the best decision we've made, because we've really quadrupled what our potential was, and it helps have everyone kind of pitch in. So thanks for that. It made a big change.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's the immediate gratification of helping you guys get something. You can see it every day, and I think that was the biggest issue with it, my opinion.
Yeah.
So
Good-
let's talk.
Good feedback. Yeah.
So yeah, I quit donating for a while, and if you remember our history, you might remember why. But I want to get back into it, and you guys were talking about wanting to have a studio somewhere, and those are big plans. Right?
Yep.
And so I thought, well, how could I help make that happen? And I'm not going to do it individually. I know that. So I was thinking, well, you know, let's do this matching donation thing. That's what everybody else does, right? All during the campaign, that you donate today, we'll match you 3 times. Well,
Chuck,
I'm
can
not
we go
gonna
back?
match 3 times.
Can we go back on something? Did I piss you off, or did I say something rude to you at some point?
Why would you ask? Is that just memory, or do you?
No, I don't know, because you
tell
said
now.
you said we had an history. You said we had a little bit of a history, and you stopped donating. I'm like, oh shit, did I say something stupid?
No, you're
okay.
Well, no, I said something stupid, and that pissed you off. That's when I did the Amy won, Matt nothing on a show when you asked Amy to be a liberal.
Such
Do you
a
remember
bad
that?
fucking, yeah, it was a horrible night. That wasn't you, that was me. I was a fucking asshole that night.
No, dude, I hit a nerve I didn't know was there, and I apologize. And
you did nothing,
I called
Chuck.
in that night to just do that. Anyway,
No, fuck, dude. Let me explain something. I can be a real ass sometimes and not realize what I say and do, brother.
We all can, Matt.
All right.
And
well, thanks.
I said that night we have a lot of parallels in the challenges of our childhood and upbringing, and so I can relate to a lot of what you talk about.
Yeah.
And that night it was your mom, and for me it was my dad. But that's a different story. We're getting off on a tangent.
No, we'll need to do that. That's a conversation we need to have. We need to have some night, because that's something I'd be interested in. But anyway, let's go ahead, and thanks for reminding me about that.
I want to say something, Chuck. You have a very Mike Rowe-esque voice.
You do, dude. Good voice.
I've heard that. I've actually looked into voiceovers and radio shows and maybe podcasts and
you
whatever.
Totally should.
You should.
I'll never be like Matt. He's my idol.
Oh shit, dude! Don't leave that with me. You give me your voice, and we'll take whatever idolistic bullshit you got from me, and we'll have the best show on earth. So yeah, man, let's do something, because to be transparent, we're in a good spot. Like we're doing what we need to do now.
I know that,
and we're starting to get there. But it's always trying to chase the white rabbit, so to speak. You know, when it comes to finances. So we want to get a studio. We like it here, but when we want to have people over, or we want to invite bigger names, Ollie North is down the road. I mean, we've got politicians all over the place. It would be nice to do something. So yeah, that's our goal. So yeah, let's figure it out.
Well, let's think about this. I don't know if you saw my post, but I'll repeat. Well, you displayed it actually.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to match donations for one night. And maybe push this thing to be something really big. Okay. What I'll tell you is I've already spoke to my wife, and she's given me the blessing for this, so I'm cool.
All right.
I get to define it. I thought about how big can this get, and she threw out a number that's, well, what if it got this big, $10,000? And I said, okay, I'll match it. So there's my limit. Matt.
Okay. All right.
But anything, I mean, that's $20,000 if we could pull that off.
Yeah. Well, there's no doubt. You got to do me a favor, though.
What?
if you're okay with it, and I can get your permission, I'm gonna give 10% to Travis Manion, though.
That's up to you, Matt.
But it's
I
important
don't
to
have a
me.
problem with it.
We pretty much give 10% of everything we make to Travis Manion, and I want to make sure that's okay with
I
you,
know.
and I think it would help people say, wow, that's that's a $2,000 check to Travis Manion Foundation would be pretty cool. But we'll figure it out. But yeah, we'll put it all over our channels, and we'll see what we can do, and have a little telethon. And now here's the question: what type of show do we want? What were you thinking?
That's
what
up
would
to
you like?
dude.
No, it's not. Bullshit. What do you want to see? Is there a topic you want to encroach
Well, it should
upon?
all be about me.
Well, dude. It'll be about whatever the fuck you want.
Pictures and
Shit, dude. Whatever you want, bro. I mean, I'll dress up like a fucking like Raggedy Ann and Andy if you want. Whatever you want. But yeah, I mean,
I don't know,
like
Matt. I would say think about it, right? I think that's something because it's a show that you want to really put your effort into and think about and do your best. And I support that. I support every show you do. We should advertise it, let people know. You should advertise I forget the name already, the group you want to donate to. And, create as much hype.
Okay.
Pick a night of the week that is usually your best draw. And I don't know what it is. Is that Friday or?
Well, honestly, Mondays are our best nights ever. They usually have the most people. That's when we've had big hits, and that's crazy. But it's like people get dry over the weekend, and they want to whet the appetite again on Monday. So Mondays are a pretty good day for us.
Okay. All right. Well, think of Monday. Not next Monday or Monday after that. I think we need to really put our thoughts behind it, unless you can pull it off that quickly in your consideration. But let's advertise it and get it out there and see what we can do.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. And we'll do all sources for sure, because we have donations that come in on Spreaker. We have donations that come in on Rumble. We don't always see those type, but I think this would be huge. And I'm going to take some time and come up with a show that will make an impact, and that's gonna be my challenge, to make it worthy of the event. So
we should put all 4 of our heads together.
Well, yeah.
And think we'll
I like that idea.
Get on a call with Amy and Leroy.
Yeah. So in other words, I'll come up with it. And I'll figure it out. So no, I'm kidding. I listen. We this is one thing we're going to be doing anyway, and this is a great time because we're going to do the photo shoot. So how about this, Chuck? Why don't we give it a couple of weeks, because we got this huge photo shoot, which is going to be big for us. This is a real massive thing. I don't know if you heard about this, but Barry Morgenstein, who
I have,
this is massive, and he is a huge personality, and this is going to put us up with the likes of Tucker and Megyn Kelly, and
which I know you're like, ooh.
Yeah, so this is huge. I'm just going to ask him, like, did she leave any of her clothes behind? So anyway, so I'm gonna.
I think she went to the New York studio. I highly doubt
he can ship. He can ship vacuum bag. No, totally legal in the state of Virginia. Thank you. But anyway, we'll do that, and then Olivia, Amy, Leroy, and I can sit down and put our heads together, and then we can shoot for doing something, at the end of March, and I think that would be a good time. People will know their tax returns coming and stuff like that. Let them have that time, because we do it right now. I think it would probably hinder people from giving, and I think it's a great time. It's a great idea. I'm excited for it.
Okay. Have you looked at the cost of a studio and what it means to establish that, replicate what you have?
Yeah, it's not an incredible amount of money. I did this for Comcast and Apple, which is I would scout properties and real estate commercial and go out and get the best deal per square foot. We don't need a lot. I mean, an 800 square foot to 1,000 square foot studio would be perfect. That we can drywall up and run electrical. It would be a facade studio, right? Just a simple L back wall, and then everything else. So it's not an incredible amount of money. It's the time and making the transition and finding something close.
Close is the key.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the kids and
Yeah.
it's at night and stuff like that. So that's the key.
Yeah. So we have we just have some thoughts and how we want to do it, and we want to stay here in Virginia and Round Hill, and there's not a lot of property out here available. So honestly, Chuck, we have a little property here, and I could probably get it zoned and build something.
Build a mother-in-law in the back.
Right.
yard. We have enough room for that.
We could build something, and we also have a basement down here, which I might want to turn into a studio.
We could extend it.
Yeah, there's just things that we're thinking about, but not quite sure. But either way, definitely something we want to do.
All right. I mean, if you had $20,000, would that push you for a couple months, a quarter? Have you thought about that? I'm just trying to think of the impact we can make here to get you where you want to be.
To be honest with you, if we had $20,000 to do something, I don't know if that would put us in the studio right away. I think my first goal, I would need to think about this, and it's not because I haven't thought, but what I don't want to do is just like throw out what would happen. But I think with $20,000, I would probably break that up into a total of 8 investments into guests, and I would.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I would bring in 8 very high-end, prolific guests, fly them out, put them in a hotel, and do a full interview and a full live event with them here, because this is big enough here. We have enough space. And that's how I would invest $20,000 right now, which is to give us a good 3 months of content to slow release, to then make obviously revenue from that, and then go ahead and continue to book another 8 and then another 16, and then we're off. And that would be where that's a better idea.
Great idea, Matt.
Yeah. Yeah. High end. Like get Ollie North on here and say, listen, Mr. North, we're cut you a $2,500 check, and here's what we're going to do. And then do a series of interviews with Ollie North that haven't been done. And there's a lot of people that would be interested in that. And then, take a look at who else we could get and some bigger names, or maybe I go on a few shows and try to cross-pollinate the brand a little bit.
I think that's a great idea. Better than mine. Your results would be more immediate.
Yes, but it also puts us into the studio, because then once we have those booked, then we cut the studio and we make an investment into the studio, and then we fly people out. They stay in a hotel next to the studio. They walk out, they're in it, and here we are. We're ready to go. I think we need guests first and make some investments on some really high end guests. And when I'm saying that, like Don Jr., like I know for a fact, you reach out to Don Jr., you can get him booked, and that is a personality that anybody would watch that show, because he's
a character.
Fuck yeah, he is. Fuck yeah, he is. Roseanne Barr would be great, and say, listen, Roseanne, we're going to donate $12.50 to fentanyl, and she's on our network. So, but you gotta get in the door, and that's how you do it.
All right. Well, I trust you to make the right decisions, and I think that's a great one.
Yeah.
And I support it. So, let's. We should probably take a lot of this offline, because there's going to be a lot of discussion.
Yep.
But let's figure this out, and I'm here for
Sounds great.
My commitment. I promise you this.
Well, that's cool, because I'm gonna get some people with some coin. I have a lot of contacts that have some coin, and we'll see if we can listen. We'll just make it big as we can without breaking the bank, but the dummies will come through. They always do, and we'll do something fun. Okay.
Let me know.
Chuck.
You're going to bed already,
I love
Bubba?
you, buddy. All right, Chuck. Thanks so much, man.
Yeah.
Hey, my family appreciate you. We love you. Thank you, man, for so much for everything. You're the best.
Hi,
All right.
Chuck.
Good night, Olivia.
All right. Ethan
Good night,
says hi.
Chuck. Thank you.
All right.
I love you, Bubba.
All right. So that's holy shit. That's pretty impressive. Chuck has been a big donor. He came through during some really tough times, and everyone knows how many great people have helped out this show. But Chuck's one of them. He gave us $500 a month for 3 months, and it really helped. And it was tight. And Bobby's been amazing. And Kev,
she said she's got competition now.
She does.
That's what she said. Hey, can you do a quick? We have somebody on Rumble who doesn't know who Ollie North is. Could you please do a quick?
Sure.
Who's Ollie North, and maybe you can flash the picture when we.
So yeah. No, this is great. I love doing this stuff. You know what? I haven't dropped a commercial. So let me do that real quick.
The Dumb Show is built on real conversations, raw, unfiltered, and fearless. Big Tech didn't like that. Facebook pulled our funding, tried to shut us down. But for over a year, you, our incredible viewers, have kept us going. Your support, your donations, your time, it all matters. Most of you spend 10 plus hours a week with us. Compare that to Netflix, maybe 5 hours a month. We believe we're worth that time. And we hope you do too. But listen, we don't want giving to feel like a burden. We want it to feel good. So take a second to ensure you're in a good spot. If you're in a place to give, that will be amazing. If not, just liking and sharing helps more than you know. Visit thedumbshow.com/donate. Whether it's PayPal, Venmo, or mail, every bit helps to keep us going. Dumb Nation, we appreciate you more than words can say.
Join Wimkin.com, the social media platform built for free speech and true connection. No censorship, no algorithms controlling your feed, just genuine conversations and a commitment to protecting your rights. Sign up today at Wimkin.com and take back your voice. Tell them Matt and the Dumb Show sent you.
The whole audience is watching our children growing up. Dawn said, "Oh my gosh, Ethan has grown up so much. I see the difference in him from when I first started watching."
It's insane. He's turning into a young man.
They've watched the kids grow up for the past 4 years. I mean, I just put his school picture in the picture frame a few days ago, and just looking at his 5th grade picture to his 6th grade picture, holy cow, the difference. He doesn't have the baby face anymore.
No, he's getting shadow and everything.
I don't have a baby anymore.
So, Iran-Contra hearings. Ronald Reagan supplied weapons, arms, and dollars to Contra. The United States Marine Corps Colonel Ollie North was a part of this. And this is how I got into politics. I was very young, 10, 11, I don't remember how old. But I used to stay home from school and go over to my grandmother's house. And she would come in and we would get in school line for breakfast, and she would always wave me through because she was the cashier. So I never paid for a school lunch in my life. And she would be off before first bell. And she goes, "You want to go watch Ollie North?" And I said, "Yes." And the person with fat fingers just hit the downvote. Fix it. Love you. Appreciate you. You're the best. And I would go home over to her on April Street, and I would watch the Ollie North trials, and I fell in love with this man. And it's probably where I got my first love for the military. And my father was a Marine while he was alive, and still a Marine always, but there was just a level of respect for his directness and his honor and integrity, and how he did not roll over, and he did not throw the president under the bus, and he stood by his patriotism and his conviction. Amazing man. And he stood there and he let those congressmen roll over and senators roll over him for weeks. And it just, it stuck with me, and it's why I got into politics, and I love politics. So that is Colonel Ollie North, and he is an older man now. I had a chance to meet him, and my father would have probably rolled over in his grave because I had a chance to meet him during Brandon Michon's run for Congress.
Actually, he was already out. It was freaking Hung Cow.
Oh, it was Hung Cow. Well, I know, but
Hung Cow, Kevin McCarthy, and Ollie
North.
North. Yeah, they came to the diner.
Yeah, but you got my point. It was during that time, and meeting him was like one of my highlights. And I came over to him and I said, "My father absolutely respected you, and What year was that? Was that 2021?
2.
In
2022.
Right before November.
I think it was October 2022. Yeah.
So I just said my father cared about you very much, and always thought you were an amazing man, and he's like, thank you, and it was just really, really nice. Here's a picture of him. And Ollie North is not a small guy, but a lot of people want to know my height. There it is. I'm not a small guy. And we had a chance to meet Kevin McCarthy, and it was just a huge honor to meet Ollie North. And he was just a super guy, and I feel like I've known him my whole life. So I really want to. He lives. I could throw a rock at his house. He lives right down the street from us. Like, when I say right down the street, I'm not kidding. Like, we go to the same breakfast diner. And a lot of people want to know what Mike looks like. He's going to hate this, that I do this. But Mike got to meet him, and Mike's on the right. You can just tell Mike's Special Forces Green Beret, and Ollie North is a Marine. And they get along very, very well. Mike is the guy who you would imagine getting on an airliner with grenades and a 45 under his jacket.
I love Mike.
Mike's my hero. I wanted to get him on the show. He's too damn fucking much of a pussy. But also, I found out, here's some good news, is here's Mike McCarthy. Oops. Here's Mike McCarthy. Kevin McCarthy, sorry.
Yeah, too many names.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
Kevin McCarthy, and here's Hung Cao, who just got named Undersecretary of the Navy.
I didn't know that. Cool.
Yep. So they gave him Undersecretary of the Navy, which is exciting too for Hung Cao, and deserves it. He's UDT. Hell of a nice guy. Anyway, so we had a chance to meet Ollie North, and it was amazing. And he came to Tammy's Diner, and my goal is to have a conversation with him. He's 81 years old, and I want to make sure I can have a conversation with him. So anyway, that's our goal. So I'm really excited for what Chuck mentioned. I think would be amazing. It would definitely help the show in a lot of ways. We want to say we appreciate you and thank you guys so much for watching, and appreciate the donations, making it a great February. It was an amazing February. We needed it to be a good one. March is going to get a little bit better. 230,000 people watch. We've had almost 450 on tonight, and thank you for your support. It's been some slow nights. Those nights look like it's over. We're consistently getting a good number of people on. So thanks for watching the Donut Friendly Show. We'll be back Monday, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and we will continue to bring you the news. If anything happens in the weekend, we'll pop in and show you. Yenny's right over there. She says hello. Olivia's going to say goodnight. Olivia is saying goodnight right now.
Night, y'all.
There it is. Pretty simple. Folks, we're going to go enjoy our weekend. Olivia and I are going to have mad, passionate sex with sharing needles and intravenous drug use with absolutely no protection whatsoever while taking the Lord's name in vain.
Of course.
All weekend, and we'll be thinking of you. We'll see you guys Monday, 7 o'clock. Love you. Appreciate you. Thanks for being so great to the show. We'll see you soon. Good night.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels.
Some people say they can't see the names, so I'm going to pause it.
Major social media channels at the Dun.
Got to get Chuck on there. I thought I put Chuck on there. It crashed. So, Chuck, we appreciate you too.
Joe.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you on Monday.
Honest.
Christine says we didn't need to hear that. Sorry.
We can agree.
Good night, everybody.
Disagree. Just don't unfriend me.